Chat, what happened last time? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Last time on Higurashi, a lot of things happened. A lot of good things, a lot of bad things happened. A lot of secrets were revealed. A lot of theories that I had, vaguely, were proven correct. Or disproven. Mostly, we got our answer about what the hell was going on with Takano's body being burned before she was like while she was at the Watanagashi. That we got an answer for, which Space and I were like stuck on forever, ever since that was revealed like several chapters ago. um, so let's start from the beginning of last stream. From the beginning, um, we were trying to help Satoko get out of her abusive situation with her uncle, and so what basically happened is from the consultation center, we ended up calling calling Satoko's household and asking for Satoko on the phone. And Rika like gave her a pep talk and was like, "You need to be strong and ask for help." And so Satoko screamed, "Help me." And then Oishi's guys were on it because they were already watching the house. They busted in, they got Satoko out of there, and everything's happy. Satoko ended up going to the Watanagashi. During the Watanagashi, though, yeah, they had a good time. Everybody had a great time. At the end of Watanagashi, Rika approaches Takano and Tomitake and is like, "Guys, you are going to get murdered." And Tomitake's like, "What are you talking about?" And Takano's like, "Ooh, murder! I'm gonna get murdered? Awesome!" And so Rika kind of says exactly what's gonna happen. Tomitake claws his throat out. And I think she might even mention that he was injected with something that makes him do that. I don't know. I don't remember. I think, but she at least said, "You claw your own throat out and then you die." And even I think says exactly like where it's going to happen. I don't think to Tomitake, but she says like to Oishi, like it might be around here, so he could like patrol. And then says Takano will be burned to death. So then we have it revealed. Takano and Tomitake are trying to, like, everybody in the friend group is trying to keep Takano and Tomitake from leaving Watanagashi, and kind of trying to follow them, but they're kind of throwing hints that they're going to have sexy time in the clinic. And so everybody's like, okay, we'll let you do your business. So have fun playing nurse. Yippee! Have fun, Takano. So,
and to her credit, she did have fun.
She did have fun. So we get to see what happens actually in the clinic. It's not well, it is sexy time to me because
oh, it's very hot. It's
incredibly hot, but it's not porn. I swear, it's, to me it's porn, but it's so it's revealed that Takano, okay, it's interesting because she kind of throws some hints that she's not of this world. She might just be saying that metaphorically, but she also definitely could be an actual demon from another world because she keeps talking about like she refers to our world as like the sunlit realm or something like that. It's like, is that what she said? Something to that effect. So she is the one who injects Tomitake with the serum, which, what was it called?
H173.
Thank you. H173, which is Hinamizawa syndrome in a syringe. So basically, all the shit that Takano, like in the journal that she gave to Rena in the previous episode, or it, to a degree, it was true. There was a serum that basically made people get Hinamizawa syndrome, which is, to remind you all, the syndrome where if you leave Hinamizawa, you get symptoms that make you claw your throat out. which is why, where was Tomitake found? It was like Shishibone or something? No, Okinomiya, like at the border of Hinamizawa and Okinomiya, I think.
Yeah, on a
Mhm.
mountain path, essentially.
Mhm. Takano gets isekai'd into a rural Japanese village and immediately starts killing. That's what it feels like. So they call it, the Mountain Dogs and Takano are calling it Operation Doomsday, which leads me to believe that they are the ones behind the gas leak, the volcanic gas leak that ends up wiping out the entire village. It sounds like the entire plan was to make the curse of Oyashiro-sama quote unquote real. So they faked Takano's death by finding a body that they probably fucked with like records and stuff to make it seem like it was her body, and because it's the body of a woman, that's really all they can tell. And with like dental records, they were like, "Oh, this must be Takano." So she probably did some fucking around to make that possible. So they faked her death, and Tomitake's death was real. He clawed out his own throat. And so Takano, like I said pretty early on, was behind all of this. It would seem, behind the quote unquote. I don't know if she is behind the entire curse of Oyashiro sama, but I do think she just wanted to make it clear that it's a thing. She wanted the belief in Oyashiro sama's curse to be reinstilled in everybody. Operation Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss, absolutely. Yep. That's it. So that's where we kind of left off. Is all that happened? They found Tomitake. They found him rather quickly. They found Takano's quote unquote body. And the funny thing is, they were like, "Oh, we put the body out a little too early, so it didn't really line up. So they're probably gonna figure out it's not your body because you were at Watsunagashi." And she was like, "Ah, nah, whatever. It's funny." So that's. They had to take her teeth for the fake body. She's carrying out this whole plot, kind of mumbling over the radio. Nah! You did miss a good one. I'm sorry, Opus. But the VOD is should go up some point today, probably while we're streaming.
Go watch the VOD, guys.
So if you want to catch up on that, I was proud of my sexy woman voice acting that whole time. All right. Are we ready to continue? Also, let me know at any point if the audio levels are wonky to any degree, if you want the game louder, if you want Cal to be louder or quieter, or me to be louder or quieter. We'll figure it out.
I can fucking yell.
Fucking yell. The day after Watanagachi. Let's go.
Okay.
This is like the middle of the second to last chapter, but apparently these chapters are going to be really long, so... Why does it keep getting smaller? It keeps doing this to me. Hang on. Now it's bigger. Okay. The day after Watanagashi, Oishi showed up at our school. It isn't uncommon for Oishi to show up here today. I don't know who it is right now. Interestingly, he always asks to see the most key person in that world. He asks for Keiichi in the world where he gets sick. Okay, so this is Rika. He asks for Rena in the world where she gets sick. In this world, he asked for me. Did Tomitake really die?
Yeah. The way he went was pretty strange, too. Like he was on drugs and hallucinating. He clawed out his own throat until he died.
I couldn't prevent it. There's nothing I can do now. I knew this was going to happen. I'm sure Takano is dead too. And Takano?
I have bad news about her, too. She was found burned to death in the mountains over in Gifu Prefecture. Based on the condition of the body, she was choked to death before her body was burned. It's a tragic story no matter how you look at it.
I know what you're thinking. You think I know something about what happened to them.
Heavens, no! I only have one question. Who would talk about such a disturbing plan at the festival where anyone could hear?
You think I'm involved in this murder?
Well, I wanted to suspect you, but I don't. If you were responsible in some way, you wouldn't have given me the hint you did. At the very least, I'm sure you're not involved with the people who killed them.
I'm glad you're not suspicious of me.
Oishi threw a 10 yen coin into the offering box and shook the bell in prayer.
Please let us solve the mystery of Hinamizawa this year.
Are you trying to get me involved in your investigation?
I was just talking to Oyashiro-sama.
She heard you. Oishi is well aware that people call me the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. That must have been his attempt at a joke.
I'd like to see the curse disappear forever, too.
Oh, that means we both want the same thing.
I made a prediction about where you might find Tomitake's body. Didn't you have a police cruiser nearby?
Well, yeah, I listened to your prediction and had a cruiser patrol the area. The place where the concrete and gravel roads meet. It's on the very border of the village. It gets very dark there at night. It always seems like if something bad were to happen, it would happen there.
So where did you find Tomitake's body?
We found him dead by the rice fields near Okonomiya.
That's not where his body is usually found. If he was fated to hallucinate and die, he would die in exactly the same spot, whether the cruiser was there or not. Just because the cruiser was placed there, Tomitake's body was found in a totally different spot. In other words, the existence of the police cruiser disrupted that fate.
Anyway, there's something else I found very interesting. I told the officers in the police cruiser to check every vehicle that passed by. As it turns out, one of the cars that headed toward Okinomiya after the festival was Takano's. Not that weird.
I was like, is that a typo? But nah, I think it's just, like, worded weirdly. Takano lives in Okinomiya. It wouldn't be strange for her to head back home after the festival.
However, she was the only one inside the car. Tomitake wasn't with her.
Tomitake always comes to Hinamizawa on his bike.
Then she could have loaded his bike in the trunk and given him a ride. But he was not with her. However, his body was found among the rice fields near Okonomiya, past where the police cruiser was patrolling in Hinamizawa.
What are you saying?
There's no way he could have biked through the dark woods to avoid the police cruiser. He somehow took the road without being noticed by us. Rude-san, can you tell me what you know about the relationship between Tomitake and Takano? He's sharper than he lets on.
They're dating. That's all I know.
I find it hard to believe that Takano would drive back home alone in the dark without her boyfriend. What if she had Tomitake in her trunk, and she was planning to dump his body in the woods? But because the cruiser was in that area, she had no choice but to pass on by, and dump him on the side of the road.
Well, Tomitake and Takano were sent here from Tokyo. I had no idea what their real identities are. I can't say that Takano had no reason to kill Tomitake. However, I've never considered that possibility before in my life. Takano killing Tomitake? But why? I can't think of any reason. Nothing comes to mind, and it's hard to imagine Takano was cornered to the point she had to kill him. In fact, it was more plausible to think she was enraged when the lovesick Tomitake acted cold towards her. She strangled his neck.
I never really thought they suited each other. I don't mean to insult Tomitake-kun, but I thought Takano-san was way too smart for him. Have you ever heard any rumors that she was trying to use him for anything?
None. But I can ask around. I'll let you know if I find out something.
Thank you very much. I'm just glad that the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama is on my side.
But even the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama couldn't solve this mystery for over 100 years.
But you said Takano was killed too. How can she be the culprit?
Well, it's because you leaked me the information. I mean, the prophecy. Without that, I'm sure I would have just believed that both Takano and Tomitake were the victims of the 5th year's curse of Oyashiro-sama. I feel like it's different this time. Maybe as though this is someone trying to make the curse of Oyashiro-sama happen.
So you really think that Takano-san is the culprit?
Basically, this is what Oishi is trying to say. They're not both victims. The culprit is also pretending to be a victim. This is really hard for me to believe. I can't think of any reason why Takano would do something like this. Oishi only feels the way he does because he doesn't know her as well as I do. For another thing, how can he explain that Takano's body was found? Didn't the police in Gifu Prefecture identify the body?
For a charred corpse, the easiest way to identify them is by their dental records. Although, according to the old man in forensics, they're still not 100% sure. And besides, there's a contradiction with the estimated time of death. It just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Well, the test results showed that she was dead on the night before the festival. Apparently, they inspected the contents of her stomach and such. But at the time of testing, they already had information about Takano. They knew she was at the festival that night, and realized that the test results didn't match up. So they just dumped the results and decided to take the dental records alone. These things do happen every once in a while. However, if Takano really is the culprit, his body might belong to someone else.
Is it possible to do something like that?
When a body is burnt, dental records are the only way to identify it. This might sound too much like a mystery novel, but what if, for example, someone faked Mio Takano's dental records? If they were skillfully forged, we could have the wrong idea. Anyway, the Gifu Police Department has made up their mind that the body belongs to Takano. Within police departments, we sometimes have issues with false test results. That's how most false charges are made. It feels to me like this is one of those times.
Or you think Takano is alive?
Since last night, both Mio Takano and her car have gone missing. If that body found in Gifu isn't Takano, this is going to be very interesting indeed. I have the most fun playing Oishi.
I love Oishi. I love your
I love
Oishi
chewing
voice.
the scenery.
It's great. Irie had already heard about the deaths of Tomitake and Takano. It seemed like both the clinic and the office in Tokyo had flown into a panic over it. It's funny how they make such a big fuss about their own people when they don't care about what happens to other people's lives if it would get in the way of their research. Ew, this fucker.
I hate this sprite for him. I hate it. It's so weird. I hate the way that his head is slightly tilted down.
Yeah. Okay, my Takano demon theory is not disproven yet. But the mountain dogs totally feel like demons in disguise in the human realm. I'm gonna be real. This guy looks like he'd be like a fucking demon. He looks like he's be like, you know, he looks like he's about to push me over. You're right.
I have on my Discord various Joker-ified emojis of when they cry characters, and my favorite is Jokanogi.
Jokanogi. Yeah, no, he looks like the Joker already.
Yeah, you don't have to change much.
Okay. Takano's subordinate, Okanogi, was in the room. Okanogi is the leader of the Mountain Dogs. I came here to make sure he's still willing to protect me. Based on past experience, they tend to lose interest in protecting me after Takano dies.
Okanogi, Takano is dead, but am I still safe?
I guess I'll be Okanogi.
Sure.
Don't worry, Rika-san. We'll still keep up the tight security around you. You don't have to call the police.
Wanna hear how I got this stance, Batman? I guess this is part of that tight security? They must have been listening to my conversation with Oishi.
Oishi told me something. Is it true that Takano isn't really dead?
That can't be true. The Gifu Police Department made an official announcement that Oishi is retiring this year, isn't he? Sometimes he makes up stories because he's desperate to solve the curse of Uyashiro-sama. You shouldn't pay attention to anything he says.
This accent is perfect for how he looks to me.
I'm trying to make him really slimy.
He's so slimy. Well, he's not wrong. This year is Oishi's last chance. Because he's so desperate, he's developed a bad habit of listening to every rumor he hears.
What's your opinion about this, Okanogi?
Right now, they're still investigating, so I can't say it. Knowing the relationship between those two, I think it's clear that this was done by someone within the organization.
I glanced over at Irie as I listened to Okanogi speak. It seemed that whoever he was talking to over the phone was accusing him of killing them. Irie was frantically trying to prove his innocence. Soon enough, he hung up the phone. Irie looked upset that he was under suspicion after working so hard for the organization.
Oh, Rika-chan. I'm sorry for making you wait.
It seems like you're in big trouble.
Just as you heard.
About fucking time.
It sounds like there's some big... What?
I said it's about fucking time he gets in trouble.
For the wrong reason. I genuinely didn't do this one. It sounds like there's some big conspiracy behind their deaths. People in Tokyo think that I'm the one pulling the strings. Good grief. I have a lot of questions as to how they figure that.
I rarely ever saw Irie get so emotional. He must be feeling as though all his effort is being repaid with injustice. However, it's a fact that Irie was trying to fight against the budget cuts and downsizing of his research team. Tokyo is thinking that could be his motive for killing them. In any case, everyone in the organization is suspicious.
I understand how scared you must feel. The people who attacked Takano-san and Tomitake-san could be after you, too. The people in Tokyo are also concerned about that. We got the order to tighten up your security. Don't worry.
I'm very relieved to hear that.
This was the first time the Mountain Dogs had ever tightened up my security. They usually become so busy keeping tabs on Irie after Tomitake and Takano's deaths that they end up ignoring me. Even though they're dead, I'm still in a pretty favorable situation.
So, do you have any idea who killed them?
People in Tokyo are investigating that now. Based on the situation, it's clear that this was done by someone within the organization. I guess I'm their prime suspect.
You're the only one who could kill Tomitake like that.
That's not true. The people in Tokyo are discussing the possible use of H173. But that drug was destroyed when the research got cancelled. It's impossible. However, they had no choice but to suspect you in this case. Mr. Tomitake even took a vaccine before he came here. But he still got infected. It must just be an extremely unlikely coincidence. Anyway, it's just impossible.
Irie is usually a very calm person, but once the people in Tokyo start suspecting him, he often loses his mind.
Do you think Takano might be the culprit? She's someone within the organization.
Takano-san? No way.
As he spoke, Irie also started to realize that everything could be explained if Takano was the culprit. But I don't know how to persuade him that it's the truth. More than anything, people want to hear a motive. Not who did something, but why. Knowing that probably isn't as important as it sounds. After all, you never know the motive unless the suspect talks. Guessing about the motive is just a waste of time. In other words, it's stupid to assume that Takano isn't the culprit just because I don't know what her motive is.
Mika-san, you can't say something like that without any proof. She was very nice to you. How can you suspect her after that?
Upon hearing me be ungrateful towards his boss, Okanogi flashed me an unpleasant smile. I It's true that Takano was very nice to me. It might be disrespectful of me to suspect her. However, I still can't trust her completely yet. Perhaps I've developed the same bad habit as Oishi. Am I believing every crazy theory I hear just because I'm desperate to escape from my fate? Okay, I'd just like to point out, somebody can still be a suspect even if they're nice. Like, you can suspect somebody of murder. Like, that doesn't completely, like, make you, like, fucking clean from, like...
She is also, like, 7.
Yeah.
You have to remember.
Sure. Yeah.
In any case, something bad is going on around here. We all need to be careful. Don't worry. We received an order to tighten up your security, too.
Irie smiled bitterly. For him, their protection wouldn't be too different from stalking.
Dika-san, make sure you don't give up too much of your information to the police. I think you understand, but you could create a problem if you talk to them about our secrets.
He was implying that he'd have to kill anyone I talked to. This isn't the first time they've warned me about this. It's just, what if Takano really is the culprit? If she is, then Okanogi is almost certainly involved too. Then it makes sense that he wouldn't want me to suspect Takano. But that would be horrifying. If Takano was my enemy, then the mountain dogs were too. This whole clinic is a lion's den. Irie is just a researcher, so he probably wouldn't know what's really going on. The more I thought about it, the more confused I got. Why would Takano do something like this? I thought I'd just convince myself that the motive shouldn't even matter, but I can't stop thinking about it. Is Takano really behind it all? Am I going as crazy as Oishi just because of how badly I want to solve this mystery? Perhaps. The mountain dogs are more like wolves looking after a flock of sheep. I've lived for over 100 years. I never once found out who killed me, and I stayed close to the Irie Institute so that they'd protect me. What if that was my big mistake? Well, I'm sure that Irie has no bad intentions. In many lives, I got to see how genuine his feelings are. I can trust him. However, he's not really reliable. Okanogi glanced over me. He smiled and told me not to worry, but I noticed an evil glint in his eyes. It's like K-pop demon hunters, like suddenly the patterns on his arm like glint, and it's like, oh no!
No, now I'm imagining him singing Golden.
Yes! It's possible
Up, it's our moment.
Gotta be golden. Anyway, that's a good song.
That movie was a solid 7 out of 10.
The movie is a feast for the eyes, but it's not good. It's worth watching. Music good, animation great.
Good, animation good. Story
Honestly,
is fine.
But the character interactions are very fun. I just really wish it was like a series instead of a movie. I think that would have been better.
Yes.
With all the things they wanted to do with it. I think they should just make a series. They apparently like confirmed like a sequel, I think.
They've greenlit a sequel, yes.
Yeah. That's cool. I think they should greenlight a show.
I also felt this about Encanto. I think
Yeah.
Encanto was the best movie it could have been, but it would have worked better as a series.
It would have, yeah. Now I'm thinking of that stupid song you hate.
Ugh, don't remind me.
What is it fucking called?
Under pressure or some shit, surface tension.
Surface pressure. Or I think. Oh, she sings Soda Pop. Ah!
I can't do that voice fast enough. Oishi chews the scenery too much. I've got to speak really slowly when I'm doing him. You're my soda pop. No, it sounds horrible.
It's possible that I have Hinamizawa syndrome, and that was just a hallucination. So she knows about Hinamizawa syndrome. She knows about it. We already established that, but I'm just pointing it out. I don't understand anything. I don't even know who my enemies are anymore. You don't have a clue! Darn! Sorry, I'm remembering those bloopers I showed you the other day.
I'm remembering.
You don't have any idea what's at stake here. You don't have a clue! Darn! I fucked that up.
Eating the hell out of the mic.
Chat has no idea what I'm talking about. The Lunar 2 Eternal Blue bloopers have shaped my whole existence, and I have quoted them so many times and nobody knows what I'm talking about. Now I can't read. There's no point thinking about this any longer. I have to only trust who I know I can trust for sure. There are only a few of those people, though. Irie, Oishi, and my friends. Back to lurk. Enjoy your lurk. If Okanogi is on Takano's side, he will be watching me very closely. If I started accusing Takano of anything, who knows what they'd do to me. When this world first began, I thought I had no time left. But that wasn't true. The number of things that happened in just 2 weeks was immense. I probably only have...
That's too real.
I probably only have a few more days left until the day of my death. What can I do? How can I change this? Am I supposed to just take Hanyu's advice and resign this time? Could this be the end of that chapter? It's possible. Bah, bah, bah. No.
It is crazy to me that Soda Pop's absolutely about sucking dick.
Is it?
I mean, have you, like, actually listened to the lyrics of that
Not
song?
quite.
It's very, like, I'm sucking a phallus core.
Things to talk about during Higurashi. Hi Mion. I love you.
Yeah. She's been missing since the night of Watanagashi.
Could it be the curse of Oyoshiro-sama?
It's freaky that this has happened 5 years in a row now. Inamizawa is a small village. Rumors spread fast here. Besides, she's Mion Sonozaki. She would have found out about this yesterday, even if the police were trying to hide it. My friends were all talking about the mysterious death of Tomitake and the disappearance of Takano. People in this village are very superstitious. No matter what happens, they conclude that everything is the curse of Oyoshiro-sama. The past incidents don't matter to me either way. All I'm interested in is the current one. The culprit of this case will probably kill me too. 2 days have passed since Watanagashi. Today is Tuesday, June 21st, 1983. At the earliest, I'll get killed on the night of the 22nd. That is, tomorrow night. The day of my death is always different. I always end up getting killed, but the day when it happens varies. I guess the culprit has their own reasons for that. There's only one thing I'm sure about. Based on my experiences, I'll live for sure until tomorrow night. After then, I'll have to live with the fear of getting murdered at any moment. Still, there's no real reason to be afraid. When I wake up, I'll be in a brand new world again. I can never remember how I'm killed. That's why I'm not that afraid of the killing itself. I'm just afraid that my life is about repeating the same things over and over like a broken record. However, at present, I'm frustrated. My classmates just expect that their peaceful days will continue forever, but I couldn't feel that way. I feel frustrated and full of sorrow, as I really don't want to die.
It's tomorrow night. Are you ready, Rika?
How foolish of you to even ask. What makes it look like I am?
Anya was trying to warn me that I might get killed tomorrow night. As though she already knew it was going to happen for sure.
You worked very hard, Rika. This life's Watanagashi was the best festival I've ever had. Didn't you feel that way too?
It was fun. It really was fun. Satoko had band-aids all over her face, but everyone was there together, and we kicked up a storm. I want this world to continue forever. I can't accept that this world is going to end tomorrow at the earliest and within 1 or 2 weeks at the latest.
I'm sure your next life will be just as fun.
So this world is over and done with. This is such a happy world, but it's just going to end like that?
All of my friends are alive and happy. Keiichi doesn't feel alone, and Rena's family is happy too. Mion and Shion are getting along, as well as Shion and Satoko. The issue of Satoko's uncle is resolved, and she's no longer treated coldly by the other villagers. This is the best world I've ever experienced, but this world is going to end.
Rika, you think of yourself as a normal person too often when we're both special beings. Every child wants their birthday party to continue forever, but the party always ends. That's why children always wish for their enjoyable moments to continue for all time. That doesn't mean they'll grieve over a party that's ended. Once they sleep, another day will come for them. Something wonderful will happen again. No one disappears like Cinderella once the party is over.
What a way for you to describe my view on life.
You're like a child who's crying because she doesn't want to leave the party. There's no need to feel that sad, is there? There'll be another party again soon. You still hate to go through another death, but it's only like sleeping for a while, isn't it?
Hanyu, don't you want to see what lies beyond June of 1983?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But I'm more concerned about you being consumed by that thought and getting hurt because of it. You just don't understand. Without you, I'd have to live for such a long time without anyone to talk to. And I'll only be able to stare at the festival without being a part of it. No one will be able to see me. No one will be able to hear me or talk to me either. Do you have any idea how miserable and lonely that will be? But I finally found you, Rika. I can't survive without you anymore. But I can't just die like you can either. I'll have to live alone until the end of time. I'll have to be alone until someone like you shows up again. I don't want that. I can't stand the thought of it.
Hanyu,
Rika, please take back the heartbreaking promise you made. I don't want you to give up if this world doesn't work out for you.
Hanyu, I'm sorry. I'll have to think about it for a while.
I want to do what I can until the end. When that happens, I can decide what to do. If I think there's still some hope, I can go on living. But if I feel desperate enough, I can just give up. It might not ultimately be a bad thing to repeat June of 1983 over and over. Perhaps I might be blessed with another fortunate life someday. Hanyu nodded with a little satisfaction after hearing that, sensing that my feelings were starting to lean the way she wanted them. Selfish. Selfish, Hanyu. So selfish. What's up, Rena? Are you plotting to take Rika-chan home with you?
Hey, Keiichi-kun. Don't you think that Rika-chan seems to be feeling down?
I don't know. She might still be tired from doing the dedication dance at the festival. Rika-chan was sitting all by herself, wearing a sad expression. I'd said she might still be tired from the festival, but that wasn't really how it looked.
Satoko-chan is free now, so I thought she'd have a spring in her step. But she's been acting weird since yesterday. I wonder if something's going on.
Satoko's issues are all settled now. There shouldn't be anything that's troubling her anymore.
Excuse me, I don't know if you heard that. That burp came out of nowhere.
No, I think Discord gated it.
Good.
Gatekeeping the burps. We thought Satoko and Rika-chan might not be able to live together if they found a new guardian for Satoko. But that problem is almost solved. Either the Sonozaki family or the Kimiyoshi family will become her guardian. Mayor Kimiyoshi is already Rika's guardian. If the Sonozaki family gets custody, Satoko will officially become Shion's little sister. Anyway, I had no idea why Rika-chan was acting so upset. I think we should ask her what's going on.
Hmm. But I don't want her to think that we're insensitive. But I guess you can ask her, I guess.
So you're saying that it's okay for me to be insensitive? Brenna laughed and stuck her tongue out at me.
Nah.
Eh. I walked up to Rika-chan and struck up a conversation. Perhaps something is still troubling Satoko, and we just don't know about it. If that's the case, we need to help her. You don't look so good. Is anything weird going on?
Oh, Keiichi.
Rika-chan had been daydreaming, and it took her a while to realize that I was talking to her.
Do I look upset or something?
Kind of. Is anything the matter? It took her a while to answer. Such a long silence had to mean yes.
Keiichi, there's a poem that I want you to listen to. Don't ask me who wrote it. I just want to know what you think.
All right, let me hear it then. Rika-chan closed her eyes and recited a short poem. It went something like this. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to receive. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to fulfill. I have the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to compromise. That's a pretty interesting poem. Did you write it? Oh, I'm not supposed to ask that, huh?
No, you're not. What did you think after hearing it?
Why are all the snoozes gone? How'd that... Twitch!
I have no idea.
That's weird. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to receive. I understand that. Everyone does have the right to be happy, but that doesn't mean that everyone can receive that happiness. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to fulfill. This one is a little harder to understand, but exercising that right probably refers to the process of finding happiness. Everyone has the right to work hard for that happiness, but it's not that easy for that work to bear fruit. I have the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to compromise. I guess she's trying to talk about compromising your happiness? There's no limit to human desires. You can never stop wanting more. That's why people need to make compromises on their happiness. At least, that's how I understand it. But she was trying to say that we should be satisfied with what we have. It sounds like a positive statement. But there's also a negative tone to the way it's presented. I think this poem is reflecting the feelings of the writer.
I think so too. So what else do you think?
She wouldn't admit it, but I'm sure Rika-chan is the one who made that poem, and it's reflecting on how she's feeling. I'm not that smart, but even I can understand that. Keiichi, you are very smart, actually. You have proven that time and time again.
He's not emotionally intelligent.
No. I thought it was a sad poem.
Sad?
I understand the first two lines. Everyone has a right to be happy, but not everyone can become happy that easily. I think those lines are describing the difficult parts of our lives, but the last line is different. Making compromises is the same thing as giving up. The writer of this poem has given up on their happiness, compromised with reality, and tried to convince themselves they're happy.
Trying to convince themselves they're happy, you say?
With plenty of regrets, too. Everyone can become happy with enough effort, but she thinks that she can't. The poem reflects her hopelessness. It's very sad.
And Keiichi, what do you think she should do?
She shouldn't give up.
She shouldn't give up?
The writer of this poem already knows how she can be happy. It's something that she deserves. She's been thinking about how to become happy for a long time. If she really wants to be happy, she shouldn't give up. Remember, we overcame a desperate situation in only a few days. If we all work together, we can make a miracle happen. You saw it with your own eyes, didn't you? What's troubling you? Talk to me.
There's something I want to talk to all of you about. But if I do that, you won't be able to live in this village anymore. Happiness for me would be to see what's beyond June of 1983, together with all of you. It wouldn't mean anything if I lived beyond this June without you.
We won't be able to live in Hinamizawa anymore? Why is that?
They'll kill you if they find out that I talked to you. That's why I can't say anything.
What do you mean, they'll kill us? Are you being threatened by someone? The word kill is not something that most people use casually. I was shocked to hear it coming from her mouth, so I couldn't help but raise my voice.
I don't know who's the enemy and who's not. The only thing I know for sure is that someone is going to kill me.
Sorry about the ad break, everybody. We literally couldn't snooze it.
Yeah, so in like less than a minute, there's gonna be an ad break. If you are stuck in ad hell, I will fill you in on what you missed. Wait, Rika-chan, talk to me. What the hell is going on? Is Teppei threatening her? No, that isn't possible. The police arrested him. And besides that, the Sonozaki family told him to never come back to the village. There's no way he could contact Rika-chan in order to threaten her. And even if that somehow was the case, Rika-chan could just talk to Mion and everything would be taken care of. But based on her expression, it seems like this is way deeper than that.
I'm sorry. If I talk, you'll be dragged into this. If I lose you, I have no more reason to survive. I just can't talk to you about this.
Subscribe to Spoony today and avoid this particular hell. Yeah, exactly. Subscribe!
True.
I'm not going to compromise my happiness.
I don't understand what you're trying to say. But you sound just like Satoko did a few days ago.
Like Satoko?
Yeah, you're thinking it's better to be patient. You forgot that courage needed to fight. You sound like that. Weren't you the one who told Satoko to be brave over the phone? My words had clearly hurt Rika-chan's feelings. She bit her lip and went quiet for a moment.
If I talk to you, you might get killed too.
Well, I don't want that. I don't want to die. But if we don't do anything, you're going to get killed, right? We don't want a future without you either, Rika-chan.
What?
You may not want us to get us involved, but likewise, we don't want to lose you either. We welcome the struggle. Besides, you know how powerful we can be together. I'm sure we can solve anything if we all work as one.
Not even our combined strength can solve this problem.
You don't want to talk to us because you don't want to drag us into it, right? So what you're saying is that you want to die without telling us anything?
I guess that's what I'm saying.
Don't think that being patient is the same as being brave. Remember the courage to fight. You can talk to me anytime, once you organize your feelings. We'll help you. You can count on us.
Thank you.
Rika-chan was wearing a sorrowful smile. I could tell that she appreciated my sympathy. I don't know why, but Rika-chan is troubled by something. It's a matter of life and death for her. She can't even talk to us about it. At the very least, she won't talk to me.
Brenda.
How was it, Keiichi-kun?
Is Rika-chan troubled by something? That doesn't happen very often. Satoko, this is going to sound strange, but is there any chance that someone is threatening Rika-chan's life?
What? What in the world are you saying, Keiichi-san? Rika-chama is the village mascot. People worship her. No one would ever try to kill her.
What's this? What are you guys talking about? The more I talked to my friends, the stranger it seemed that someone would try to kill Rika-chan. Everyone was even more confused than I felt. Rika-chan didn't talk to me about what's troubling her, but I'm sure there's something very serious going on with her. If she really trusts us, I'm sure she'll talk to us soon. Let's believe everything she tells us if she opens her heart. Okay? We all looked at each other and nodded. Why is Satoko crying? Satoko?
This is just her best serious sprite.
It's my serious face.
Listen, I'm an angry crier. I've been
Fair.
there.
Fair. Alright, well we have one chapter left. Probably not gonna finish it today. You wanna read the tips and then take a break?
Yes.
Actually. New tips. Here, you can read the faded notebook.
I will read. The Son of God promised that he would be resurrected within 3 days. Sinful men guarded his grave to make sure he would not wake up, but that was foolish of them. He meant that his spirit and his lessons would be resurrected, not his physical shell. Do not be afraid of physical death. If you achieve great things, you will live again. You will surpass death and become immortal. A demon took the Son of God to a cliff and told him to jump off. He claimed that if he was really a son of God, a miracle would help him survive. He tried to challenge the Lord. The Lord challenges humans, but humans may not challenge the Lord. To challenge is to suspect. Suspicion will speak words of evil into your ears, and it will make you falter. Do not doubt your own achievements. Do not doubt your own life. Do not doubt your contributions. Do not let others criticize your achievements. That is the same as doubting your own life. Ifumiti.
Happy Easter, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, piss break.
Piss break. Let me save. Piss break. Alright, everybody. Get up. Go pee. Drink water. Sorry about the double ad break. But thankfully nothing was happening during the second ad break that I ran. Thank you for the kids WB. I'm gonna just start calling it that. Okay, so let's get back to it. The final chapter of the penultimate chapter. That's confusing, but don't think about it too hard.
Don't worry about it, Ken.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, this is Rika. This is Rika's place. When I woke up, the first things I saw were Satoko and the calendar. First one to wake up is supposed to tear yesterday's date off the calendar. Sometimes we both tear the calendar by mistake, so the date ends up 2 days ahead. Satoko likes to tear the calendar, and that makes her wake up early every morning.
Don't Yoma.
Stop!
Intermission 5.
Intermission 5. That would usually make me smile, but I felt devastated as soon as I saw the 22 on the calendar. It's going to happen today. June 22nd. Day I die.
Good morning. Good morning, Rika!
Morning, you too.
You too? Are you still asleep?
There's someone else living in this house other than you and I. I just said good morning to that person as well.
Hey! Don't try and spook me like that!
Aw. Sorry, I thought that was Hanyu saying that.
Satoko won't be able to sleep without holding my hand tonight. Sometimes I feel like Satoko can see Hanyu, and it's as if the three of us are living together. That would be a lot of fun. It was time to go to school, but my body felt heavy. Today, I was going to die. Knowing that, I didn't even feel like going to school. The more I've repeated the same life, the more precisely I can detect my day of death. I always die on the day I feel this way. What a unique feeling.
Rika, we ought to get going soon.
I'm taking the day off today.
Rika, I heard from Keiichi-san. Are you troubled by something?
Kind of, but not really. What else is there left to do? Today is the day. It's too late now. But part of me still feels like doing something. I've been in this world only a few days. My emotions went up and down like a roller coaster. Sometimes I felt motivated to fight, and other times I felt desperate and gave up. Even though Keiichi and everyone else showed me such strength, I lacked the iron will to fight against my fate. The most confidence I ever felt was when the dice all came up 6, a fortunate coincidence that was just handed to me. I was hoping to gain the courage to fight against my fate, But here I am today, conceding to destiny. Keiichi told me that we can make a miracle happen if we work together. But there was something he didn't teach me. He didn't teach me how to believe in that. Fuck. If I don't believe that I can make a miracle happen, I won't be able to make even a crack in the wall of fate. It seems so simple, yet so difficult. I couldn't even decide whether I should be on the stage or stay off it and remain as a spectator. I told Hanyo that I haven't decided what to do after this world is over. But that's the spectator's point of view. For the people on the stage, this world is the only one. For them, the end of the world means the end of their lives. That's why they do anything to change their fate. That's why they can make a miracle happen. I never worked hard enough because I always knew that I could reset my life. I thought I was just one pathetic girl who couldn't change her own fate.
I'm very sorry. Emergency situation. I will be back as soon as I possibly can.
Okay. Should we BRB? I might.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so, yes.
So we just had our cool little discussion on liminality and Unheimlich. Alright, we're
Hi
back.
everyone, sorry about that.
It's all good. It happens.
That's why I ended up here again today. It's as if I slacked off on my summer homework and woke up on the last day of vacation with nothing completed.
Oh,
Every fucking time!
it's like that, what's it called? The Hikaru, fucking melancholy of, is that her name? Hikaru?
I
you
think
know
I
what
know what you're talking about.
The endless, like, episodes where it's, like, the same thing every, like, episode. Haruhi!
Yes.
That's it, not Hikaru. Haruhi!
Thank you, Yoma.
Thank you.
I couldn't remember for the life of me. You said Hikari, and, like, my brain was
Hikaru.
like, that's it, that's what it is now, even though I knew it wasn't.
So, like, because that's, like, the entire thing of that. Because after you told me about that, I, like, looked up videos, and that was literally, like, her power, like, resetting the timeline so the main character could finish his summer homework, and at the very end, he does finish his summer homework, and then they're out of the loop, finally. Anyway.
That's what would get me stuck in a time loop. Like, you have to finish your summer homework. It's not happening. I'm stuck here forever.
We don't really get summer homework in America, or at least I didn't, so.
It wasn't very often that you did because, for the most part, when you go from, like, year to year in the UK, you'll have a different teacher.
Mhm.
But, like,
Yeah, so.
when you're doing, like, your end of primary school exams or your end of high school exams, the 2 last years will be linked together and you'll have the same teachers. So you can get summer homework then.
I see. Also, I saw Nyoma's comment about my pronunciation of so it's unheimlich? Like, yeah, unheimlich. Okay. Unheimlich. Cool. Awesome. We had a summer reading list. So we had, like, books that we didn't have to read for summer, but we got extra credit if we read them.
Extra credit? I never understood extra credit. Extra credit toward what?
Your grade. You get bonus points. I don't
What the
know.
fuck are you talking about? Did you get, like, on every year that you were in school, did you get, like, a separate score?
I don't remember how it worked. I just remember extra credit was a thing. Anyway, let us continue this sad day that Rika dies.
Yay.
It's as if I slacked off on my summer homework and woke up on the last day of vacation with nothing completed. What should I do? Should I not work on my assignment, knowing that I'm not going to make it on time anyway? Or should I do whatever I can, even though I may still get in big trouble? Perhaps a miracle will happen. Perhaps the homework will be done overnight. Miracles don't happen to homework. I'm putting kids in grade debt out there. I have to do the homework on my own. Without effort, nothing will ever get done. Without effort, not even one question will be solved.
Rika, I think you should spend your day doing what you want to. You can drink by the window all day, just the way you like doing.
Also, no, Space, we did not. The only time you ever got, like, actually graded on anything that mattered was for the end of primary school tests and the end of high school tests. Obviously, like, you could do, like, a pop quiz and get, like, a 93 out of 100 or whatever. But, like, it didn't necessarily matter. It didn't contribute toward anything, ever. It was just your teacher tracking your progress. They would have separate grades per subject, and that would combine to a final grade. That's fucking insane to me. Like, shit did not matter at all until those final exams.
We had the combined, like, GPA based on our grades for each subject, I think.
Weird.
I don't know. I don't remember because I graduated like 16 years ago now. So
40 years ago.
40 years ago. Anyway,
You're suggesting that I shouldn't do anything since I know I'll get in trouble anyway?
for Hanyu, it's not about the homework. It's more about the vacation itself. The vacation will be over no matter how much I want it to continue. In her eyes, it's pathetic for me to make a big deal out of not completing my homework and contemplating whether I should still work on it or not. On top of that, I'm saying that I might as well die if my vacation is going to be over. If I was in her situation, I'd be laughing hysterically. Keiji told me to seek everyone's help in order to finish my homework. But I'm not taking that offer, not only because I don't want to cause them trouble, but also because I don't want the teacher to know that I got help from them. If I was going to have regrets, I should have worked on it from the beginning. If I had no intention of working on it, I should have just relaxed without stressing so much. If I didn't care what other people thought, I should have asked for their help in the first place. Those are the 3 options I talked about with Hanyu yesterday. I didn't choose any of them. I've been living for over 100 years, but I still can't decide. My 100 years were wasted.
Satoko, I'm not going to school today because I have a cold.
Is that so? Do you want me to take your temperature?
I need to rest today. Could you tell Chie that I'm not coming because I'm sick?
Rika, are you really sick? Keiichi-san told me that you're worried someone is trying to kill you. I'm very concerned, you realize.
Thank you. You should go now, you'll be late.
Satoko looked at the clock, then looked back at me again.
I'm very happy right now. I'm happy that I'm back with everyone, and that I'm living with you again. So, if I lose you, I'll be living in a very sad world. Just think about that.
The world without me.
Yes, the world without you would be a very sad world.
I've never thought about that. I thought that the world ended when I died. I've never thought about the world after my death. That was never my concern.
So please take care of yourself. It just isn't just me. If anything happens to you, everyone will be sad.
Satoko.
Rika, I'll leave you alone for today. But please talk to me if you have something on your mind. It's kind of upsetting how you won't talk to me.
Satoko seemed like she wanted to say more, but she looked at the floor instead. I know what she's trying to say. God damn it. I realize how selfishly I've been living. It was wrong for me to look at this world as a stage play. But it's too late. It's too late now. Satoko left the house in a hurry. Hanyu and I were left alone inside the house.
I can tell you want to be alone. I'll disappear until you call for me.
Thank you.
You're still yourself, even after 100 years. You're not 100-year-old transcendent. You deserve to think about your life as a young girl. I don't want to force you to think like a grown-up. Sorry, the monthly goal is in the way sometimes.
I'm so sorry. It's full. It's fuller.
It's heaving and full.
Ugh.
It's not your fault, Hanyu. I was just being arrogant.
Call me if you want to talk.
You're not crying anymore? You're not going to beg me not to give up on my life?
You're a stubborn person. I know it's better to not be too persistent with you.
After all these years, you know me very well.
I know you're already aware, but let me say this. Today is the day. Do your best. No matter what you do or don't do, this world is gonna end today. But if you wish for it, you'll see a brand new day just like when morning comes. You might find yourself back in June of this year again, but it'll still be a brand new day.
When I was younger, every day seemed so boring. Every morning I thought the same things would happen again after I woke up. This just means that'll end up being true.
Let me just tell you to live this day productively. I'm not gonna say anything else to you.
I knew today was the day, but it's still difficult to hear that from you. It's going to come to an end again, huh?
Yes. It's going to end again. Just like always.
Anya disappeared, and it went completely quiet inside the house. How should I spend my day? How should I end this day? Should I work on my homework, knowing that I'm not going to make it on time? I only have half a day left. I have to do my best. I should think about what I can do. This world is supposed to be a happy place. People are enjoying their lives. I should have enjoyed my life more too. I don't mean that I should have lived my life in blind optimism. It means that I should have enjoyed my life by fully experiencing both happiness and sadness. If I did that, I wouldn't be as worried about what to do after my death. I should have simply lived with all my might. When the time comes, it'll be over.
Today, I will live.
It's a very important phrase. But it sounds meaningless when I say it, because I can repeat this meaningless life as many times as I wish. Hey, Corky. While Satoko was at school, I washed the dishes. Anya would usually stay with me when Satoko wasn't around, but she's not here right now. It's been a while since I was all by myself. I never thought anyone could feel so lonely while washing the dishes. I'm going to die today anyway. This world is ending today. Why should I wash these dishes? It's because I'm thinking about Satoko, who will have to move on with her life after tomorrow. I will encounter a new Satoko in the next world. But I realized something after hearing what Satoko told me earlier. After I'm dead, I wonder how Satoko will move on with her life. The worlds that I've left in the past all went on without me. I wonder if Satoko will be able to cook without me. I wonder if she can go shopping on her own. I wonder if she can wash her clothes by herself. I've been avoiding thinking about this, but Satoko and my other friends must have been overcome by sadness. It's too late for me to think about this, but I started feeling like I wanted to cry. So wait, whenever the timeline resets, is it the same timeline and they're just reversing? Or are they just creating a new timeline and abandoning that one and then letting it go on? You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. I don't think they ever explicitly say it, but it's the latter. That timeline continues.
Okay, so they abandoned that timeline and all those timelines are still going. Oh.
They're still real.
Fuck. Oh no. It's too late for me to think about this, but I started feeling like I want to cry. We did see a glimpse of what happened after everything one time. You're right. You're right. You're right. We did see Rika die, and then, like, the world still continued. Fuck. Feeling like this because I don't want to leave this world. This is the world that I've always wanted. It's my hope that I can continue in this world beyond June 1983. After a long journey, I finally ended up in this world.
but I was able to truly live in this ideal world for only one night. The night of Watanagashi. This world will be shattered again after I die tonight. We finally saved Satoko, and all our friends assume that our happy life has returned. However, I'm going to die. Tonight. They will mourn for me. We worked so hard to make a miracle happen, but they're going to lose their happy world in just one day. Am I going to start a new life in the next world as if nothing happened? I lived 3 days in my new world, but 3 sad days were going to pass in this world. It's no good. I can't think straight anymore. I couldn't stop the tears from flowing from my eyes. I hugged Satoko's pillow and cried. I could smell her scent. After I die, Satoko will probably hug my pillow and cry, just like this. Is everyone else going to cry for me too? I'm sure they will. And they'll be sad. Not about my death. They'll be sad. Not because I'm dead, but because I never told them about what was troubling me so much. I wonder if they're going to feel regret. Will they wonder what they could have done to open up my heart? What they could have done to help me in my time of trouble? Will they wonder what they could have done to save me? I felt miserable and frustrated. I held Satoko's pillow and continued to cry. And the next moment, I heard the phone ringing.
I'm gonna fucking cry, dog.
Bruh. I tried to ignore it, but it wouldn't stop ringing. I picked up the phone, hoping that my friends would call to check on me. However, I heard a weird guy's voice coming from the receiver.
Hello. This is Okinogi Gardeners. Is this the Fruit-a-Day residence?
Okanogi? It was Okanogi from the Mountain Dogs. It was the first time I'd received a phone call from him.
I'm calling because I have something urgent to ask you. I called the school, but they told me that you're sick today. Are you feeling alright?
I'm not alright. This is the day I die. I knew he had no idea, but I still couldn't help but feel upset. It's only a cold. I just want to rest today.
Really? Well, that's a very fortunate coincidence.
What? I had no idea what made him say that. He was glad I was sick. Why is it fortunate for you if I'm...
Typo spotted.
Typo spotted!
Well, we got a tip from Tokyo that someone's planning to murder you.
Uh-oh. What do you mean?
Tokyo was investigating the murder of Tomitake-san and Takano-san. The investigation concluded that there's a high possibility Dr. Irie is pulling the strings.
Irie is behind everything? This is the first time I've heard something like this. This isn't something that happens at random. It's the very first time. It means it's not just a coincidence. I'm hearing this now because of something that I did differently in this world. I've done many things differently in this world, though. I can't tell which decision led me to this result. However, maybe this is something that could change my life drastically. Okanogi continued to explain to me. There had been budget cuts to their research, and they were scheduled to be shut down within a few years. EDA was strongly against that because he was embezzling their research money by requesting bigger and bigger budgets. Because they were going to cancel the research, he tried to sell the research data and make a lot of money off of it. Is that really true?
I know it's hard to believe, but it is. I always thought that he was kind of suspicious myself.
I think I can say with certainty that Irie is not that type of person. I've been around him for years, and as far as I know, he's not a bad guy. He doesn't even have the guts to be one. He pretends to be cold-hearted for the sake of his research, but he can't shake his regrets. He's simply a nice person. It's hard to believe that he was embezzling money from Tokyo. I'm starting to be suspicious of Takano, but she's actually a nice person too.
He was correct to reconsider Yoma.
She seemed mean at times, but she could also act as innocent as a child. However, I'm starting to suspect her because Oishi told me that the body they found in Gifu might not be Takano's body. Oh, I see. I see. Okanogi works for Takano. that means I can't trust Okanogi. In other words, I can trust Irie because Okanogi is clearly just trying to set him up. On the other hand, if Takano isn't guilty, I could be making a huge mistake. Yet it always seemed to me as though Tomitake and Irie were good friends. If Tokyo had suspected that Irie was embezzling money from them, Tomitake would have treated him far more coldly. Anyway, at the very least, Tomitake of Tokyo didn't have such a bad impression of Irie. I think... Yeah, I'm wondering if the reason Irie is like that, TM, is because he was initially going to be the culprit.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, because there are other minor characters who are like that in this, like Keiichi's dad, the otakus, Kameda.
True. But Irie
This is just something that Ryukishi found funny.
Unfortunately, a lot of people found it funny back then.
Yes.
Apparently, in the interview, he said he wanted to contrast Irie's love for maids with a more sinister side, so I think Ryukishi is just kind of like that, yeah. The Irie of the Irie Institute and Tomitake of Tokyo were good friends. Tomitake of Tokyo and Takano of Tokyo were good friends. Takano of Tokyo and Okanogi of Tokyo were superior and subordinate. But Okanogi of Tokyo says that Tokyo is suspicious of Irie. That doesn't make sense. Everyone seems to be good friends at first glance, but the links don't connect from start to finish. Irie thinks he has a positive relationship with Tokyo, but Tokyo is suspicious of Irie? That's just odd. The chain should be connected, but one of the links is twisted out of order. It's breaking the loop.
Tokyo is conducting further investigations at the moment. We also have information that Irie is trying to use you as a bargaining chip. For that reason, we've been told to tighten up your security starting today. That's why I'm glad you're at home right now. There are 20 security guards patrolling the Furude Shrine in 3 shifts. You may not notice, but they're there for you.
That's a lot of security. How long are you going to guard me like that?
Until Tokyo feels you're no longer in danger. Until this whole case is resolved.
That should have been good news for me, since today was the day I was supposed to die. I think they're going to kill her.
This is exactly the kind of security I wanted. That's why I let Takano into the ritual storehouse. However, I have a bad feeling about this.
Me too.
Tokyo should be my ally, but that arrangement is just like Irie's relationship with Tokyo. Everything seems in order from my end, but when you trace it the other way, it feels like something's off at some point. I have this uncomfortable feeling because I have a few uncertainties about Tokyo. Tokyo and Irie have strong ties, but they're suspicious of him. Is Irie actually a bad guy? Is Takano still alive? And is she the one who killed Tomitake? Those questions and more made me uncertain about accepting help from Tokyo. I thought Tokyo, as a single organization, would move with a single intention, but in reality, they have multiple different intentions. In other words, there must be multiple... What's the word? I see it in the political section of newspapers all the time. Ah, right. Factions. Are there 2 factions in Tokyo? One that wants to remain friendly with Irie, and one that looks down on him? That would explain the irregularities I'm sensing. Maybe I've been talking to Oishi too much? If he hadn't told me that he was suspicious of Takano, would I have believed Okanogi without a doubt? Well, maybe not. Even without Oishi's theory, Okanogi still sounded very suspicious. Irie was loyal to his research on Hinamizawa syndrome. Tokyo understood this, so his relationship with Tomitake wasn't particularly strained. Plus, Irie isn't the type of person who would commit embezzlement. He's a law-abiding citizen with a good moral character. Of course he has some ambition as a researcher, but that only goes as far as common sense expects any researcher to. It's nothing like the criminal aspirations that would lead to major embezzlement. A great number of the mountain dogs were going to be guarding me. This is what I'd been wanting in my previous lives. But for some reason I couldn't be happy about it. I couldn't help but feel depressed. If this house is like an empty bird cage, then they'd be the fox with feathers stuck to its face. I don't know if I can really trust the people who are protecting me. I tried to recall more about Okanogi. The mountain dogs have been protecting me for years. Okanogi proved his skills in many of my other lives. To them, I'm something of a special existence. If something happens to me, it would be a disaster. The Irie Institute is there to keep Hinamizawa syndrome under control, and the mountain dogs are there to protect me from evildoers. So why would they try to betray me now? I thought about it for a while, but I had no idea. I just know one thing for sure. I can feel comfortable with the protection of the mountain dogs alone. I want someone other than Tokyo protecting me. But I bet such a person wouldn't believe me. Wait, what about Oishi? I've been keeping in touch with Oishi since the other day. He still thinks that the mysterious deaths of Hinamizawa are all plotted by the village authorities. If he believes that, then he might believe that my life is in danger. For him, I'm a special person with lots of useful information. The mountain dogs hate the police, though. When I asked them to assassinate Satoko's uncle, they refused because he was being watched by the police. I would feel relieved if the police were guarding me along with the mountain dogs. That way, the dogs wouldn't be able to harm me, even if they were working for an evil faction of Tokyo. Besides that, if my suspicions towards them turned out to be baseless, more protection couldn't hurt. I'm sure that double security will keep me safe. I understand. I'll stay home for today.
Yes, please do. And please don't go out into the city and try to pick a fight with delinquents.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, please take care of yourself.
I have a cold, so may I at least go to the clinic?
You never know what might happen, so please don't go near there for a while. I don't want them to inject you with anything suspicious.
Irie would never do anything like that.
That's what we want to believe. But you need to be careful with him until things are cleared up. So, I have no choice, huh?
Rika standing on a stepladder, putting a hand on Okanogi's shoulder. I think we're gonna have to kill this guy.
No? You've totally picked up the local dialect, Okanogi.
I used to have a normal Tokyo accent. I like to think I can fix it when asked, though. After all, it's my job to blend in with the local culture.
I finished speaking with him. As soon as I hung up the phone, I opened my phone book and looked for the number to the Okinomiya Police Department. It was nearly noon. It felt like the pages of the phone book were sticking to my skin. I must have been in a hurry. I really don't want to die. I want to stay in this world. I don't want to leave this perfect world. I'm trying to do something because I don't want to die. I'm trying to live with all my might. I'm trying to enjoy my life. For the first time, I was spending my last day positively, without drinking wine until I was drunk.
Hello, it's Oishi. Sorry for the wait. I was getting ready to leave for Gifu Prefecture. I was going to browbeat them until they owned up to botching the something.
Case.
Thank you.
Botching the case. Okay.
I couldn't read it. The monthly goal was in the way.
I'm gonna move it. Hang on. I need to switch to a mysterious screen. Hang on. Hang on. Oh. Over here. Okay. Blood bag. Smaller. Okay. That's definitely better. Okay.
Gifu, you're talking about Takano's body?
Yeah. My colleagues are convinced that the body is Takano, but I'm still not satisfied. That's why I'm gonna go there myself. If that body isn't Takano, this is gonna be a whole different story. We can put out a search for her as a material witness, see? Fortunately, I have a lot of connections in the Gifu Police Department. I'll go have a nice long talk with them.
It looked like Oishi was proactively moving forward with the investigation. If that body is
There's a lot of typos in this fucking chapter. That body really is Takano.
that would be sad for her, but it would give me a reason to trust the mountain dogs. If that's not Takano, then it would tell me that she's part of the whole incident. No matter what the result is, it will give me some kind of hint. But only if I'm still alive. But really, it's unfortunate. Oishi is leaving for Gifu. He can't be around to protect me. Oishi. Some stranger called me today. I don't know who it was, but he said he's one of the villagers.
He didn't tell you who he was? I see. Please go on. What did he tell you?
He told me that someone is going to kill me. He said they'd kill me tonight at the earliest.
Is that true? I see. It's not outside the realm of possibility. I see. I have to leave soon, but I'll send some more officers over there. I'll tell them to keep you safe. You're home right now, right? Do you have a cold or something? Just stay home and lock your doors and windows. I'll send someone over immediately.
Nice. What's wrong, Oishi-san? You'll be late for your appointment.
I just got a call from Rika Furude. Someone called to warn her that she was going to be murdered.
Someone is trying to kill Rika Furude? But why? I thought she was like the village mascot.
It might be a warning for contacting me about the incidents in the village. I don't know if they're really trying to kill her, but she's just a young girl. I'm sure she's very frightened right now. Plus, if we lose her trust now, that might hurt our relationship in the future. 2 or 3 officers are enough, but please send them over at once. Also, get a hold of her local officer and have them reassure her son.
Yes, sir. You want me to narrate, or you want to take the narration?
I can. Rika Furude might have some kind of hint regarding mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. Oishi couldn't let her die. We should head back to Hinamizawa as soon as we get the Gifu Police Department to spill the beans. This is gonna be a pretty tight schedule for our business trip.
This will be a piece of cake. Skylark? Who the fuck is Skylark? This is Skylark. A local police officer is on the shrine property. He's heading toward R's house.
Raja. Continue observation.
Encountering R. She let the officer inside. R called the Okinomiya Police Department. She requested protection on her own.
Did she tell them about us?
She told them that she got an anonymous call. I'm sure that's made up. The Okinomiya Police Department is sending a few more officers to her location.
What? Doesn't she trust the mountain dogs?
This is trouble. It's going to prove more difficult to continue the mission.
Is it possible that she somehow found out? Well, we're probably safe. Just tell the team to be aware of the offices. We don't want them to become suspicious of us.
Roger. HQ to all units. I read that as HO! Ho!
Oh, to all units!
Ho! There are police officers around the Furude Shrine. Please be mindful of them. We may have to postpone tonight's mission.
I'll call her, but I'm sure the major will order a go anyway. Everything's already set up for R to be discovered dead tomorrow morning so we can move to the next stage. But we don't want the police to suspect us. If they start suspecting you, just leave quietly.
It was the mountain dogs killing her. Oishi had called the officers pretty quickly. The officer who was in the area arrived within 10 minutes after I spoke with him.
Merry Christmas to all units.
Merry Christmas. He asked me what kind of phone call I received today. I decided to make up a whole story. It'll all be over if they check my call history, but I'm sure Oishi won't bother doing anything like that. He thinks I'm worth protecting because I have information about the incidents in Hinamizawa. The policeman is one of the villagers, so I know him very well. More officers are coming here from the Okinomiya department. The officer told me to relax because he'd stay with me until then. Oishi must have thought I was frightened half to death after getting a threatening phone call. After about 30 minutes, 4 officers in plain clothes arrived at the shrine. The local officer returned to his police box. policeman for you.
We've heard the whole story. We'll guard the shrine, so please call us if something happens. Detective Oishi will be here this evening.
I was relieved to learn that Oishi would be coming here.
Thank you very much.
At least one person will be downstairs. I'm sorry, but is it okay if we use your restroom? Also, will you give us one of your spare keys, just in case?
Sure. You can use the restroom too.
My house is on the second floor of a storage building. The first floor contains emergency supplies for the village. I'm happy to know that at least one police officer will be there for me. The officers confirmed their positions on the map of the shrine. One will be in the storage building, and 2 more will walk around the shrine property. Also, 1 more officer will be standing in front of the stairs that lead to the shrine. This world's Oishi is certainly reliable. In my other lives, Oishi tended to look at me as his enemy. However, in this world, he thinks I'm on his side. I'm sure it's because we all became friendly with him around the time we saved Satoko. It was unfortunate at the time, but perhaps the return of Satoko's uncle was a necessary event. If Okanogi was right about Irie, he wouldn't be able to come near me with 20 mountain dogs and 4 police officers protecting me. If Okanogi is the bad guy, they'd be discouraged from acting by the presence of the police. Not too different from giving garlic to a vampire. This is the best protection I've had in 100 years. Even so, am I still going to be killed tonight? I need to do whatever I can. I should struggle as hard as possible. I won't give up. I won't even think about my next life. This is what enjoying life is all about. This is what living seriously is all about.
Hanyu, are you there?
I'm here.
What do you think about all this?
I have to admit, I've never seen anything like this before.
Is it still wrong for me to expect something different this time?
I'm not gonna hope for anything. I'll just have to accept whatever the result is.
Anya was still acting like a bystander. I knew she was going to say something like that, but part of me was hoping she would say something more positive. On hearing her say what she did, I felt a little disappointed and wondered why Hanyu refused to be anything but an onlooker. I always thought it was normal for her to be that way, because she's a special existence. I also convinced myself I had to be an onlooker too, since I was a similar being. However, I can't just let go of everything and become a bystander. I can't become like her. I can't stop hoping for a better life for Rika Furude. That hope was betrayed so many times, and my heart was crushed countless more. That's why I stopped expecting everything or anything to turn out the way I wanted. So, is Hanyu the same way?
Are you also afraid of being hurt?
I've only lived for 100 years, but I know how frightening it is to have high expectations. Hanyu should also be aware of that, since she's lived far longer than me. I always thought that Hanyu was a special existence. But, except for the fact that she's invisible, everything about us is the same. She has the same thoughts and feelings as everyone else, yet I still saw her as a special existence. That's why I just assumed that her mind worked in a different way.
I've been living for longer than you. I know that there are more sad things than happy things in this world, and that your hopes will always be betrayed. That's why I don't want to be hurt anymore.
So you're not expecting anything from this world either. I still have hope that this world might be different. But you think I'll just be killed again?
Oh, it's not what I'm thinking.
Hanyu looked uncomfortable. She had no doubts that I'd be killed again that night. That's what it means to not have hope. But she can't own up to it because she doesn't want to hurt my feelings.
You're the same as Satoko. You're waiting for some stroke of luck or some miracle to come and help you. You're afraid of fighting. You think that being patient is the same as being strong. That's how I was until just a little while ago.
Hanyu looked down and bit her lip. She couldn't deny what I said.
I know you've heard it over and over. Miracles will not happen unless everyone works together. That means you have to believe too. A miracle will never happen unless everyone believes in it.
What I just said sounded as though I was blaming her for the miracle not happening. I'm blaming her! Maybe I was too harsh to her. I stayed quiet, and Hanyu continued to look at the floor, shaking. Then she looked up at me and spoke. I noticed sadness, but also a little bit of anger in her eyes.
I can't even touch people or talk to them. You think I'm just like everyone else, even though all I can do is watch? Do you understand how it feels to not be involved in anything?
There was a slight severity in the tail end of Hanyu's speech. Except for me, she can't communicate with anyone in this world. She hates to be reminded of that.
I'm sorry. Let's stop this. I don't want to have to fight with you. I don't want to spend the rest of the time I'm alive in an argument.
I don't want to argue with you.
But let me just say one thing. You're my friend. I don't want my friend to tell me not to expect too much out of my life.
I'll apologize for that. You should try respecting my opinions too.
She can be very stubborn sometimes. Hanyu seems weak on the outside, but she actually has a very strong moral code, one that she wouldn't bend for anything. She apologized to me, but she wasn't being honest. She still wasn't expecting anything good to come from this world. She still thinks that I'm going to die pitifully. That's why she refuses to believe in miracles. I've been living with her long enough to read her mind. I feel bad for her, in a sense. She's been living too long and lost all of her hope. Hanyu told me to call her if anything else happened, and soon disappeared. I'm sure she's still around. She's probably still watching me, as if she's watching a TV show. The time of my death is slowly approaching. Will I be able to survive this time? It's been a long time since I faced this fear without drinking wine. Oh! The anticipation. It's killing me. I was left with nothing else to do after washing the dishes and cleaning the room. The mountain dogs and police were protecting me. Just in case, I figured I should leave something behind for Satoko. Should I write down some recipes for her in the notebook? Will she be happy if I leave a will for her? Oh, my favorite TV show, Death and Despair, Volume 7! Yes. I laughed at my own foolishness. No one would be happy to read my will. If I die, they'll be devastated. Wonder why I didn't talk to them. It's exactly how I felt when Satoko didn't ask for any help when her uncle was abusing her. I wonder, will I be killed before Satoko even comes home? My memories of these days are never very clear. The day I die is always vague in my recollections. It's fine if I'm murdered before Satoko gets home, but if I'm murdered after, then would they kill her along with me? I don't want that to happen. It's bad enough already that I end up killed. If Satoko's murdered along with me each time, that would be too much to bear. Just how much have I ignored other people's sadness, that rash idea that the world ends when I die? Thinking about that made me feel truly ashamed of myself. I turned on the TV to try and reduce the silence, but it didn't help at all. Worse, not only did the TV not help with my fears, it felt like it symbolized Hanyu and my allies, making me feel even more unpleasant. It was past lunchtime, nearly 3 p.m. School should be out soon. I'm not there today, so they probably won't do a club activity. Satoko should be home shortly. Seems I'm going to survive until she gets home after all. If she comes home and asks me what's troubling me, I might end up telling her the truth. If I talk to someone, that person will be demoned away by the mountain dogs. That's why I've never spoken to anyone about it. I didn't want my friends to get into danger. But if Satoko was also murdered likewise in every world because she was involved with me, then we're doomed to share the same fate. It's better to know the truth than to be killed without knowing what's going on. But I'm under very strict security right now. I might be able to survive in this world. If that's the case, I shouldn't talk to Satoko about it. It won't be so easy to talk to my friends after all. Moments later, I heard a surprised yell of Satoko's coming from downstairs. She'd returned. It sounded like she was scared to see a stranger in her home. I'd have to tell her that the police were here. That would be tantamount to telling her that someone is out to kill me. I don't know how to explain it to her, or how much I should tell her. However, my thoughts were soon interrupted by the noise of a crowd. Satoko hadn't come home alone. Ah,
I'm home. Hey, Rika! What's up with that officer downstairs?
Why is that guy guarding your house? What the heck did you do?
Me-chan, that's not the right question. What happened to you, Rika-chan?
There were some strangers on the shrine grounds, too. Are they also police officers? This isn't normal, you know?
we don't know what's troubling you, but we're all here to cheer you up. It looks like something bad is going on.
Ah.
I couldn't stop laughing. Upon seeing everyone rush into my house, all asking the same questions, it made me feel as though being depressed all day had just been a waste of time. Lord, I feel that.
Rika, what on earth is so funny? You need to explain to us what's going on.
Like, the fucking quote, like, seeing all my friends made me feel like being depressed was a waste of time is so fucking real, because there are days where I felt that way. And then, like, I talk and hang out with my friends, and I'm like, why the fuck was I depressed when there are these friends that are so nice? And that's real.
Yahoo!
Yahoo!
There's nothing to explain. I'm getting murdered today.
What?
What?
Everyone already knew that I'd been telling people about how I was going to be killed, but they were surprised to hear it from my own mouth. Hey, Rika-chan! I heard that from you yesterday. You told me that you think someone is trying to kill you, but I thought that was one of your jokes then. Now, though, you're not fooling me anymore. You have to talk to your friends. Eiichi spoke with a harsh tone, as though I'd made him upset. As my friend, he must think that it's unforgivable that I didn't talk to him about it. He wasn't the only one feeling that way, though. Every single one of them was looking at me with worried expressions on their faces.
Rika, everybody here saved me. I want to do something for my friends as well.
I'm glad to hear that.
Remember what you told me? You told me to have the courage to fight. But just look at you, you're not even fighting yourself.
Satoko pointed out something that I've already realized. I had no way to argue back.
You told me that you'll put us in danger by talking to us. But all of us are already involved, no matter if you talk to us or not.
That's right. We're your friends. If you're in danger, all of us are in danger too. When Satoko was in danger, we all fought for her, remember? It's the same thing.
If your life is in danger, then I think it's time for the Sonozaki family to step in. We're way more reliable than the police. Isn't that right, sis?
That's right. You have to talk to us. What kind of trouble are you in? Who the hell is threatening to kill you?
Based on how you're acting, I assume you don't even know who it is. If you did know, it wouldn't be as big of a problem.
Meep. You're all so smart. You know everything, even though I haven't talked to you yet.
This is not a time for jokes, Rika! You must talk to us. What's happened? What's this all about? You don't call the police unless you're really in danger, no? How dare you talk to the police before talking to us? Is this cause something you're is the cause something you're uncomfortable talking to us about? I can't read. Rika would never have any issue that would be uncomfortable to talk about.
Calm down, Satoko. Rika-chan is the leader of the Furude family. She's worshipped as the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama in this village. She might have been in trouble for a long time, even though we didn't know about it. Maybe she just didn't want to talk to us about such trouble because we're all trying to have a fun life here in this village. It's probably what it was, right?
So it has something to do with Rika-chama and the village? It must involve those crazy old people who worship Oyashiro-sama.
So it must have something to do with the curse of Oyashiro-sama. I know. I bet it's related to what happened to Tomitake-san and Takano-san.
Why would Tomitake-san's murder cause Rika-chan's life to be in danger? That's too big a leap.
It's crazy just to think that someone is trying to kill her anyway. Rika-chan is bound by more obligations than we know, and she probably couldn't talk about them. I'm right, aren't I? It's not a very fun topic, which is why you couldn't tell your friends, right?
I cannot believe this. Is it really true, Rika? Is it really true that you're involved in Tomitake-san's murder case?
I remained silent, but with my mouth open. I hadn't answered any of their questions, but they continued to ask, and had eventually hit the nail on the head. It was more surprising than anything. But then again, these are, after all, my beloved clubmates. I laughed once more. My issues and my secrets are so devastating to me, but they stopped sounding like such a big deal when everyone talked about them together. They knew exactly what was going on without me saying a word. In that moment, I realized just how powerless I am. I had to tip my hat to them. Everything seemed so foolish now. And so, I decided to just tell them everything.
If you want me to talk, I will. But I'm sure you won't believe me.
We will. As long as you tell us the truth, we'll never doubt it. Everyone's expressions turned grave as they vowed not to make light of anything I told them. And so, I'm going to tell them everything. I want to see if they really will believe me or not.
In that case, I'll tell you. I think I'm being targeted by the same person who killed Tomitake and Takano. Then, are they the true culprit behind the series of mysterious deaths? I don't know about that, but it is possible.
I don't understand. Why would Tomitake-san and Takano-san's murderer also want to kill Rika?
Yeah. Oishi thinks Takano is the culprit. Okanogi thinks that Irie is the culprit. Either way, it sounds like someone from Tokyo is trying to kill me. I can't tell if it's Takano or Irie, but I do think that to them, I'm like a trump card. In order to explain everything, I need to talk to them about the relationship between Hinamizawa, Tokyo, and the Irie clinic. I don't think they'll believe me. It's such a ridiculous story. But who would ever believe it if not my friends?
You'll all be in danger if I talk to you about this. Are you sure you still want to hear it?
Of course! If you're in danger, we're in danger. Everyone nodded at Keiichi's words.
Well then.
I'm going to see how everyone reacts. I'm going to ascertain, that's how you say that, right? What friendship is all about?
Yes.
Okay, cool. With a nod of my own, I opened my mouth and began to explain. I always thought it was a certain when I was younger.
Oh.
There's a disease unique to Hinamizawa. I'm not sure what it's officially called, but I've always known it as Hinamizawa syndrome.
Everyone glanced back and forth at each other when I mentioned the term. I never heard of it before. The name Hinamizawa syndrome has actually been around since before the war. It's the general term for the severe homesickness and mental instability that people from Hinamizawa experience when outside of the village. People in Hinamizawa have refused to leave the village since the era of Onigafuchi. The villagers believed that they'd be cursed by Oyashiro-sama if they left, and people who did often came back because of that curse. In general, it used to be thought of as only severe homesickness. But during the war, soldiers from Hinamizawa became mentally deranged in faraway places. It does sometimes happen in war. What was unique about the soldiers from Hinamizawa was the way that they killed their own comrades and committed suicide at the end. One doctor became curious about these cases and studied those soldiers. That's when they found out that it was actually a disease only found in Hinamizawa. According to this doctor, their strange behavior was not the result of their culture. It was a mental disease triggered by external circumstances. A mental disease with an external cause is different from a psychological illness. It's the result of some kind of physical disorder, and it causes people to become mentally unstable when something triggers it. There are 3 categories of externally caused mental diseases: traumatically induced, substance abuse induced, and chemical imbalance induced. Traumatically induced disorders are
You actually want to take over the narration because I know you
I
haven't
can
been.
absolutely do that.
Cool, go for it.
Traumatically induced disorders are cases resulting from damage to the brain from trauma or infection that influences the mind.
Hi, Val. That's how I'm reading your comment.
This is the reason personalities can change as a result of head injuries. Substance abuse, as the name suggests, refers to cases where drugs, especially alcohol or stimulants, have influenced the mind. The last category is chemical imbalances. These are cases where some ailment in the patient's body causes abnormal secretions of bodily chemicals, which then influence the brain's functions. This may sound odd, but it's been said that people tend to become depressed when they have a cold. We've all experienced the ways in which physical sickness can cause a buildup of negative emotions. However, with chemical imbalances, the cause is more direct. People's emotions aren't born from our hearts. Everyone should know logically that they're the result of chemicals secreted by the organs in our body as necessary. So when the organs operating the secretion of those emotional controllers malfunction, it causes them to secrete abnormal amounts. The thyroid gland, for example, secretes hormones that regulate emotions. When that gland is defective, the balance of those hormones becomes unstable. My fucking god. This can cause people to not only have physical sickness, but also a mental sickness, such as depression. People don't get mentally ill just because of mental problems. Human beings are made out of meat.
Yes.
It's true. We get mentally ill when that meat is defective.
What a line that is. And yeah, it's true.
The doctor studying Hinamizawa syndrome also came up with a theory. He suggested that there's a pathogen endemic to Hinamizawa that, if its host stray too far from home, affects the chemicals in their brain and causes them to hallucinate. The villagers' belief in Oyashiro-sama is certainly related to this endemic disease. People in Onigafuchi village knew about this syndrome.
No longer calling my autism a mental illness. I now have defective meat. Ugh.
They knew they couldn't survive outside the village. They also didn't want anyone else to enter the village because they would get infected too. They took this disease as a curse, not a sickness. The most significant symptoms of this disease are antisocial behavior and an extreme persecution complex. The eventual suicide by defects in the lymph nodes are also another unique characteristic. This unusual behavior of terminal patients is what inspired the legend of the demons coming out of the swamp and attacking the villagers. Basically, sick villagers developed severe persecution complexes and wound up killing other villagers. After a long time, survivors of the disease started to comprehend its rules. They discovered that the disease is incurable once you contract it. That's why they started barring outsiders from entering the village. Also, once you become ill, you will begin developing a persecution complex. This can happen to anyone in the village. The doctrine of Oyashiro-sama says that the blood of humans and demons was mixed together, and that Oyashiro-sama has control over the violent blood of the demons. People said that you'd be cursed if you didn't follow Oyashiro-sama's rules. That could also be understood to mean that as long as you follow Oyashiro-sama's rules, you could cope with this endemic disease. This is what was meant by the scripture in Oyashiro-sama's legend that said they appeared, unified the humans and demons, and made them live together in this village. Then there was the most important part. The rules to prevent symptoms from appearing. Those rules are the taboos, and people were strictly taught that Oyashiro-sama would curse them if they broke those rules. The horrible, bloody traditions of the village were probably performed in order to force people to respect those taboos. There are several ways to keep the disease under control, but there are two main conditions for doing so. The first one is to prevent suspicion. When the villagers are suspicious of someone, it can trigger their persecution complex, which can lead them to develop terminal symptoms. That's why they made sure to have such a tightly knit community so that people wouldn't suspect each other. Since the terror of Oyashiro-sama's curse is emphasized, many don't know this, but she's also a god of marriage and neighborly love. However, this condition is not as important as the other one.
I'm sorry if there's like lag before each line.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Indeed, Oyashiro-sama isn't even recognized as a god of friendship in Hinamizawa anymore, and is only worshipped as such in Okinomiya's Hirisaka district. Now for the other condition. This one is much clearer and was practiced more strictly. If villagers leave Hinamizawa, they will fall ill quickly, proportional to the distance from the village. Villagers nowadays will not get sick as rapidly, even if they leave town or even go out of the country for a long time. However, long ago, they would fall ill as soon as they left the village. It's very unfortunate that Keiichi got infected so soon after he moved to the village. It was also very unfortunate that he got sick just because he left the village for a few days to go to his relative's funeral in that one world. That's why Hanyu felt so bad for him that time, and kept on apologizing over and over. Although, no matter how much she apologized, he never heard her voice. This turned into a long discussion, but these rules etched around Oyashiro-sama's curse represent the ancient wisdom of how to cope with Hinamizawa syndrome. Is there any way to use this mental disease for military purposes? The aforementioned doctor insisted there was, but the military didn't listen to him all the time. They were interested in developing a weapon that could make a dramatic change to the war efforts. They didn't have any money to spare for the research of this strange disease. In this way, research on Hinamizawa syndrome was abandoned. Then the war ended. Japan started its reconstruction under American leadership. However, some powerful people in the political world didn't want to accept the American way of thinking. Some of them were fired by the GHQ, but they still stayed on as advisors to the government, since Japan has a culture of respecting the elderly. Eventually, a political organization was formed, the object of which was to restore Japan to the way it was before the war. In the beginning, this organization was a very small group. It was just a gathering of 2 or 3 individuals who shared the same ideals, blowing hot air at a restaurant. Those 2 or 3 hit it off with each other and grew to the size of a class reunion. That group became a rather sizable organization, eventually becoming a political one. Well, it would be more accurate to call them a secret society. This secret society eventually came to be called by the name of the place where it was based, Tokyo. There are many mysteries about Tokyo. One thing I knew for sure is that it was composed of old men from Japan's political stage, ones with strong power to indirectly influence the government, and vast assets that mean they could work from the shadows. They were also connected to various corporations, and their goal was to return Japan to the way it was before the war. Of course, that was a pretty ridiculous goal. It was nothing more than an idea in their minds immediately after the war, back when they were still bowing their heads to the occupation forces of those white barbarians.
Wow.
Once Japan's post-war reconstruction began, Tokyo steadily became a shell of its former self. This is what I'm saying, Yoma. If you don't make it this far, and like a lot of people who like this shit just for the gore don't, they completely miss all of this like socio-political context.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there was like some political shit like earlier. So,
There was.
yeah. Glad this game is keeping politics out of its theming. No, I like things the more politics you put in. I was just thinking, what in the Resident Evil about all this shit? Because they're using it, it's like bioterrorism. It's like they're talking about using Hinamizawa in like Hinamizawa syndrome in war and shit, or they at least like introduced that idea or considered that idea. I don't know if they're actually using it, but anyway, let's continue.
But it didn't totally become a shell. It culled the fat. Japan regained its peace, and years passed. However, some people still continue to believe that Japan had been better off before the war, and they were determined to return the country to those times. My god, burp in my throat.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Where's Leon Kennedy?
Yeah.
Where's Ashley? So this Tokyo plotted out how to restore pre-war Japan from many angles. They approached the problem economically, internationally, and militarily as well.
When we're done with... When we're... Instant 10 out of 10 game of Leon was here. He'll be here
You're so obsessed.
After we finish this chapter, I will start playing Resident Evil 9. I swear. I swear. It's been so long. Everybody's already played it. Everybody's already played Requiem, and I'm like,
Where's everyone going?
Leon!
Bingo?
Oh my god, 2 out of 10!
Leon! Help!
Leon!
That was good. Hang on. I need to clip that. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Did you already read that line? Did I interrupt you?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
There he is, it's true.
There he is.
Japan has no nuclear armaments due to the 3 non-nuclear principles. In other words, this country had to brown nose to America as long as they hold nuclear weapons.
Brown nose.
The #1 priority of Tokyo is to be independent from America. They want this country to be on equal footing, and to obtain a weapon of mass destruction that isn't nuclear in nature. That was the reason why they started thinking about utilizing Hinamizawa syndrome. However, they couldn't just study this disease openly. In order to utilize it for military purposes, they had to hide the existence of the disease itself. So they enlisted one young researcher, Kyosuke Irie, who unfortunately has a name that's very fun to say. I need to make it clear that Irie isn't some far-right supporter of this secret society.
They say far right in this. That's crazy.
It's an older term.
That's crazy.
Sorry, I had to adjust my seating. He's just a young, capable doctor and an earnest researcher.
You'd think he was far right, how pedophile he is. Anyway.
I mean, you can be anywhere on the political spectrum and still be like that.
It's true, but anyway.
He published an innovative thesis, but other academics thought he was too radical. However, that convinced Tokyo that he was the only researcher suitable to study Hinamizawa syndrome. As someone young and ambitious, Irie was thrilled to take on the project of studying this rare disease with a large budget, a large staff, and his own facility. But researching the disease meant that he would end up infected too. No one would want to take on such dangerous researcher. He really was too young. With his other options being wearing down his youth working hard at the night shift for a local practice, he wanted to answer the expectations of the sponsor who carefully selected him. In the end, Irie was able to uncover that, as hypothesized, the Hinamizawa syndrome was a unique infectious disease, and he developed both a treatment and a vaccine. Irie was extremely talented. The Irie Institute was formed to study the disease. Irie was nominally the head of the organization, but Tokyo still sent out a supervisor, because when all was said and done, he was just a researcher.
Oh, my wife.
That supervisor was Mio Takano. Takano's job at the institute was to act as a go-between for the Tokyo and Irie, manage the research progress and preserve its secrecy.
Awesome.
The latter was the most important part of her job. She had to do her best to prevent people from finding out that Irie was researching the disease, or even that the disease exists at all.
Freak.
The Mountain Dogs were formed for that purpose. They were under Takano's command, and their job is to prevent the Institute's secrets from being discovered. The Mountain Dogs are one special forces unit specializing in unconventional warfare and owned by Tokyo with its vast influence on the SDF. Tokyo had set their eyes on the likelihood that a small elite squad of covert operatives would be a trump card in the anti-nuke era, so they vigorously investigated those options. This was a worldwide trend. Since the Cold War, everyone avoided sending troops directly to their enemy's doorstep. Japan was also trying to be a part of that world. As a result, by 1983, even the police had been forming secret special forces units. That was hard to say.
Yeah.
Prefectural Police Squad 2, the ones who intervened when Rena laid siege to her school, changed their name to Zero Company, and grew into an anti-terrorism squad that handled hijackings around the Kansai airport area. The National Police Agency Squad 6 was formed as a counterterrorism squad for Narita Airport 2, and they later changed their name to 7th Company as well. They theorized that in a world where nations possess nukes they can't use, small elite special forces disrupting metropolitan areas would be a new way of waging war. So in 1977, they developed the SAT's predecessor, the Special Task Force SAP, to serve as the National Police Agency's trump card in securing the peace.
Zero Company,
Zero Company is
a really good name.
Likewise, the Japan Coast Guard had established their Special Task Force, the SST, in anticipation of unconventional warfare on the coast. There are several known Special Forces units in Japan. When they hear a phrase like Special Forces, most people tend to think of a movie or a comic book.
You know, I was just kind of thinking that, Yoma. Like, I think Ryukishi is the Kojima of visual novels.
However, these units actually exist and are protecting Japan in secret. During the famous incident of suspicious boats off the coast of Noto Peninsula, the news reported that the helicopter squad trained in gun battles was headed there, but was recalled because the suspicious boat sank. And that was because of the Coast Guard's SST acted.
That is like so much text, it's almost cut off in the game. I just need you all to know it's not because of my layout. No, it's like that in the game.
However, the news never mentioned the SST or other Special Forces unit. All of these units were established after Tokyo made a suggestion about it to the government. Researching military tactics under the name of peace and order worked perfectly for Tokyo. But since the mid-century anti-war movement made people resent those forces, these special units have been kept secret as of 1983. Furthermore, mapping. These units are not all formed under the jurisdiction of the police. There are still many other military units that are kept secret from the average citizen.
Die.
The mountain dogs are actually one of those secret units. They specialize in kidnapping, espionage, and preserving secrecy. They specialize... I read that already. You might as well call them an assassination unit. They were around during the dam conflict as well. Tokyo wanted to put an end to the dam project because of the impact it would have on IDE's research. The mountain dogs were the ones who kidnapped the Minister of Construction's grandson.
I see.
Most people believe that the Sonozaki family was at the center of the movement, but in reality, the mountain dogs were responsible for many of the things the Sonozakis were accused of. In that sense, the existence of the Sonozaki family was an advantage to the dogs. Their main job after the dam conflict has been to continue keeping the disease hidden from the public. With the spread of information networks in the modern age, the media jumped onto any unusual incident and quickly added to the whole nation. Tokyo doesn't want the disease to be known nationwide, since they're trying to utilize it for their own purposes.
Would you like to go back and forth, like, with this narration, since it's such a long haul?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, perhaps every time there's a screen wipe, we switch. Okay?
Yeah.
The main task of the mountain dogs is to kidnap people suffering from Hinamizawa syndrome. They pose as gardeners, but in actuality, they patrol the village to make sure nothing strange happens. They're the ones who demon away people who go missing. They're probably also involved in some of the mysterious deaths, too. The last important person is Jiro Tomitake. I don't know his real name. He was an auditor who was sent from Tokyo 4 times a year. He came to check on the progress of the research and outlined requests from Tokyo. He discussed the research budget with IDE too. He also got the observation report on IDE from Takano. That was his purpose. IDE started out by studying the autopsy results of dead villagers, and he discovered many answers from that. In 1979, the mountain dogs kidnapped the culprit behind the murder of the construction chief, who was a terminal patient of Hinamizawa syndrome. The nature of the disease was dramatically clarified. Their research made rapid progress after that, and they discovered a vaccine, medication, and other methods of treatment for the disease. At the same time, they continued to investigate how to utilize it for military purposes. One of the interesting findings of the research was that the pathogen can only be found when the patient is still alive. On top of that, they couldn't detect the presence of the pathogen at all unless they used a certain inhumane method. In other words, it's virtually impossible to detect the pathogen by normal means. It left almost no trace, and the unusual symptoms it produced seemed like voluntary behavior, so they concluded that the disease could be used to their advantage. However, Tokyo has been going through some changes.
It's been almost 50 years since the war ended.
Mm-hmm.
The leaders of shadows behind Japan's government who ruled from the center of Tokyo began growing infirm and opening up seats, steadily passing their leadership to the new generation.
Kind of wish I had a soundboard and I could play the, Moogle sound.
The whole organization has started to shift. Of course, the purpose of Tokyo has stayed the same. It's still a secret society of ultra-nationalists who want Japan to be at the top of the world. However, their ambition to start a war with America and take over the world is diminished. Tokyo has directed its priorities toward the economy, international affairs, and education.
Wipe. That doesn't mean that those ambitions are gone entirely, however. Several seniors still alive retain those ambitions. Tokyo continues to finance military research, but for the present-day Tokyo, EDA's research is actually something of an embarrassment. The new Tokyo is no longer interested in his project, and they announced that they're going to cut their budget as soon as those seniors pass away. However, EDA objected to that plan. He strongly appealed for the continuation of his research. This is what Okonogi was talking about. EDA is in disagreement with Tokyo. You wanna?
EDA's research has been making great progress. They discovered various treatment. Sorry, my fucking mouse fell on me and my shirt was hiked up a little bit, so a cold plastic thing just suddenly jabbed me in the side.
Whoa! Crazy!
They've discovered various treatment and testing methods, and he's even starting to develop a treatment plan for the whole village. That really fucking made me jump. If they cut his funding, EDA's research would end without any results. It's the mountain dogs! Fuck!
They're after you! They're after you! Tokyo had a discussion with EDA through Tomitake, and they decided to shut down his research partially, but not fully. However, they told him to immediately stop researching military applications of the disease and destroy all the research data related to that. He had little interest in weaponizing the disease anyway, so EDA accepted those terms right away. Tokyo probably believed that it was better to let him find a cure for the disease than to terminate the project entirely.
At this point, EDA considers himself one of the villagers. Perhaps exterminating the disease infecting the villagers without their knowledge is his way of atoning for using the village to advance his research and reputation.
Both Tokyo and EDA agreed to fully terminate his research as soon as he discovered a way to completely eradicate Hinamizawa syndrome. EDA made a plan for the next 3 years, and he promised them that he would find a resolution by 1986 at the latest. The meeting they had this June was to discuss the plan and budget for the next 3 years.
Which brings us back to the beginning.
Yeah, we'll just, anytime the background fades or wipes, we'll just... Yeah.
One theory goes that EDA is in opposition with Tokyo, and as his trump card, he's planning to kill Rika Furude. The other theory is that Takano killed Tomitake, and as her trump card, she's going to kill Rika Furude. I suppose I need to explain why Rika Furude can be a trump card.
The answer to that lies in the ancient traditions of Hinamizawa. Supposedly, members of the Furude family have the blood of Oyashiro-sama in their veins. I explained earlier that Oyashiro-sama was made up as a method for having people cope with the disease. However, that's not actually true. For the demons, the pathogens, to survive, a certain being must be present. That being is the successor of the Furude family line. The truth behind the advent of Oyashiro-sama and the coexistence of humans and demons is that Oyashiro-sama was actually the queen of the village. According to EDA's research, Rika is adored by the whole village, not only because she's a charming little girl, but because she's the queen carrier. Infected patients are unconsciously driven to protect their queen. This is interesting. EDA says that this is done with pheromones. Rika Furude's mother was also adored by everyone since she was little. Oh, sorry. It wiped. Go for it.
However, as soon as she gave birth, people's attention quickly shifted to Rika. EDA calls it the succession of the throne. The queen is a precious existence to the people in this village. I bet.
There are theories that carriers of the disease are actually unable to survive when away from the queen, not from the village itself. ADA's research indicates that the queen can only survive in Hinamizawa, and infected patients can only stay alive when they're around her. But this is just a theory. Game theory. Surprisingly, however, the doctor who first discovered the syndrome was also aware of the existence of the queen. There you go.
That doctor was also knowledgeable about Hinamizawa's culture, and he was interested in how much value the village placed on the Furude family. He theorized that the queen lying in the Furude bloodline might have the power to manipulate the whole village. The truth is still unknown.
Ow.
But perhaps was that...
That was Zachary.
Was that Zachary?
Yeah.
Whoa. But perhaps the
No.
Furude family really has held such power since ancient times. Miraculous, that really threw me off.
I'm so
Miraculous
sorry.
power that would make them perfect for serving in the priesthood. Hello, tons of...
Hello. I can't remember if I have followers mode on. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. Tons of Fudge is just a lurker who's just now speaking. Amazing. Welcome.
Although the only thing Rika can do is be doted upon by the villagers.
If all this
If
is
all
true.
this is true.
Oh,
Wow.
sorry. If all this is true, then the question is what would happen if the queen disappeared from the village? During the war, the doctor prophesies that if the queen were to die, then all the infected would show terminal symptoms. And the whole village would be wiped out. 3 years! That's crazy. He advocated for strict preservation of the queen's host. Rika is important to Tokyo, not only because Irie found many answers after running tests on her body. If Rika Furude dies, the 2,000 people in Hinamizawa will turn into demons. It would happen too fast for people to even realize that they're getting sick. They will each be overcome with a violent persecution complex and start killing each other out of fear. This is why the mountain dogs are protecting the queen, Rika Furude. Her death spells the end of the whole village. That's why Rika Furude is the trump card for those who know that she's the center of the whole epidemic. Oh, that's fine. I'm glad you can make it, Tons of Fudge.
This is the story of Hinamizawa. I'm all the way over here. Our tale begins in June 1983. Tokyo's liaison, Tomitake, was found dead of the disease even though he was vaccinated against it. On the same night, Takano was also kidnapped and murdered. Though I don't know for sure if she's really dead or not. Rika Furude is also going to be murdered soon enough.
While I've suspected Irie and Takano, this was my first time doubting Tokyo. I always thought that they were on my side. They had to be. My death would lead to nothing but disaster.
At the same time, there might be people within Tokyo who could use my death as a trump card. I never considered that there were opposing factions within Tokyo. I guess I was naive enough to not realize that Tokyo had internal problems due to the generation gap. Anyway, I wouldn't be feeling this way if I didn't suspect that Takano might still be alive. I feel like I'm starting to see the greater picture. It's possible, too, that Takano is the victim and Irie is the bad guy. The mountain dogs might be on my side, or they might be assassins who are trying to kill me. Gunky.
I was too scared to choose.
scared.
I was too scared to choose a wine that might be at risk of having something poisonous mixed in which case I could rest assured with a fresh, unopened bottle, even if it was a little bad. After telling everything. I'm sorry, the lag! No!
It's okay. You go ahead.
Because we're back to the present, I
Yes.
guess. After telling everything to my friends, I finally realized that I could only trust them and the police. I'm really dumb. I thought I was thinking so hard, but I never actually understood anything. After all this time, I made things clear just by talking about them with my friends. I never have thought it would make such a big difference. Keiichi's sitting in the corner like the Tails Gets Trolled image. I have an emote. I have an emote for that.
Me. And that's the end of my story.
And then it's like 8 p.m. and they're like, Jesus. As I thought, everyone was staring at me with their mouths open in shock. Even Oishi wouldn't believe a story like this. That's only normal. And then Oishi comes in and she's like, okay, let me tell the story again. And then it's like 5 in the morning and they're all like, Jesus. Sure, I sound like a crazy person.
Satoko, we go to the clinic every week to help with EDA's research, right?
Hi, Esther.
We're actually not just helping him. We go there so you can get treatment.
I remember you told me that Satoko was ill.
Me?
Yeah, you.
As you said, it's not only me, but the whole village that is infected with the disease. Why would I have to take the shot every day and not everyone else? I thought it was just a new type of vitamin that the coach was developing.
At one point, you were a terminal patient, Satoko. That's why you need 2 shots every day to keep your symptoms under control. EDA is very passionate about saving you, but he still can't find a better treatment than that. Don't think he's not still working hard to find a cure, though.
Don't you joke around! I thought we were getting financial support by aiding his research. I don't want to get those shots every day for the rest of my life.
Satoko looked upset that she had been completely ignorant of all of this. She also didn't want to accept the reality of having to manage her condition. Her fake laughter sadly echoed in everyone's ears. Keiichi opened his mouth to speak. So, if she misses a shot, she'll react like she did the other day? There was a day where she forgot to take her shot. She convinced herself that the principal was her uncle. Her fear escalated, and she thought her uncle came inside the school to take her back home. When she feels that way, there's no turning back for her. So we now know what Satoko has. It's just Hinamizawa syndrome.
Yes.
Yes, she will. That's why I tell her to be sure to take her shot every day.
I don't believe you. What do you mean I'm a terminal patient? Why me exactly? I refuse to believe it. When did I even become so sick?
Satoko's face contorted as tears began to flow from her eyes. I shouldn't have said this. Satoko is starting to remember something she's not supposed to.
I'm sorry, Satoko. You don't have to remember. That was just an accident. It wasn't your fault.
No, this is a lie. You're just lying to us.
The others probably had no idea what Satoko was talking about. They don't need to know. They don't want to know about it because they're her friends. Rena gently touched Satoko's shoulder. She gently touched mine too.
We believe your story, Pikachu.
Thank you.
And you've been carrying such a heavy burden for a long time. I'm proud of you. You've been struggling all alone until this day.
Never thought Rena would say something like that to me. My eyes were filling up with tears.
It's difficult to have a secret that you can't tell people. Mine was hardly a big deal compared to yours. But I can still sympathize with you. I agree. You've done your best too, sis. I often shift the blame onto you to relieve myself, so I can tell.
You're all going to believe my story?
Why giggle?
It's funny. Of course. We said we'd believe you. It's a bit of a relief since a lot of my questions about this village are answered now. So is everyone in this village infected by that disease, that Hinamizawa syndrome?
Yes, everyone is infected. But unlike hundreds of years ago, this disease is much weaker now. That's why people can survive even if they move far away or go somewhere far for a trip.
But some people still get sick, right? I'll never leave this village again.
Even if you do get sick, you can still control the illness yourself. It's very simple, yet very difficult.
You think you might be suspicious of someone? Don't be. Continue to trust in them. When you become too suspicious of someone, that suspicion will degenerate into a persecution complex, and it will be too late. So long as everyone stays friendly and united, we will never have to worry about this disease. Fuck, I'm thinking of that video again. Esther, I think you posted that video of the, like, dude, like, stuck in the streets and it's playing this song, and then, like, he just, like, kisses his friend on the forehead, and I'm like, and it's just captioned Higurashi, and I was like, I don't understand, but now I do. This disease starts with anxiety. Modern people don't believe in curses the way people long ago did. That might be why we're more tolerant to this disease. Okay, so I think I already mentioned it. The part in chapter 3 where Keiichi starts, like, prattling on to Irie that he can, like, kill people with his mind or something. Irie is like, alright, we need to give you the serum. I think the serum he was going to give him was not Hinamizawa syndrome. It was the cure for it, or the thing to, like, you know, placate it. That's where my brain is right now. So he was like, okay, Keiichi's having crazy symptoms of Hinamizawa syndrome. We need to help him out. Instead of, you know, like, what I originally thought he was going to make him claw his own throat out. No, he was trying to prevent that. Anyway. That might be why we're more tolerant to the disease.
I see. Then we should be fine.
Hi, Angel. Yeah, we're friends and we're family. We would never suspect each other. That's what you think, Keiichi. I'm going to believe everything you said today. You couldn't talk because you were afraid that the mountain dogs would hurt us, right? I nodded quietly. I don't want to think that the mountain dogs have bugged this room. But if Okanogi overhears this conversation, they will definitely kill not only me, but all of my friends tonight. They definitely have that room bugged, girl. That's true no matter who my enemy is.
Well, it sounds as if we should all get ready for battle. Let's sum up the story. We don't need to, we just read that whole thing, Mion. Someone might come and kill you, knowing that your death will cause chaos and destruction in the village. Is that correct?
They'll definitely come for me. Are you sure? Will they get rid of the trump card that easily? She's quite right. A trump card is like a pile of gold. Isn't it better to keep your hands on it?
Satoko's eyes were still swollen, but she had stopped crying.
But think about it, Satoko. If you have more than one trump card, you want to play one of them right away.
That's true. It's more effective to have more than one hostage. One hostage is not as valuable as many of them.
Anyway, we don't know anything for sure, and that means we can't be too optimistic. Everyone nodded in unison.
What do you think about the mountain dogs? Do you think they're our enemies?
Yes.
That's not even a question. They're like wolves trying to watch after the sheep.
Just think of all the suspicious people as bad guys. We need to seek help from someone who has nothing to do with Tokyo.
I agree. I think you made a good choice by seeking help from the police. Oishi-san is on our side, right?
Yes. Oishi doesn't know everything yet, so he thinks that the culprit behind of the curse of Oyashiro-sama is targeting me. Turgling me.
I'm sorry. I quoted that the other day and it hasn't left my brain. Turgled.
I think you should talk to Oishi-san too. We need to help some. Move on from me.
Okay.
But that's pretty risky. What if they don't believe her and step away from the investigation?
Well, you should still talk to him. He said that he's going to retire this year and that it's his last chance to avenge his old friend. I'm sure he will believe any story, no matter how wild.
Yeah, he helped us when he was trying to save Satoko-chan too.
No.
I think he'll remain on our side.
I don't know if Discord's just lagging real bad.
No, I'm just having a moment.
Are you okay?
I don't know why I'm having a hard time processing things today.
It's okay. Okay, let's talk to Oishi. Where is he now? He's out in Gifu Gifu Prefecture. He went to check on Takano's body.
Oh. She was found in Gifu, right? Burned to death in an oil drum? Why does he have to go there directly to check on her?
There's a possibility. Wow! We can't process anything! There's a possibility that it might not be Takano's body. But the Gifu Police Department isn't being very cooperative.
The disease spreads.
You said that the mountain dogs specialize in preserving secrets and manipulating information, right? That corpse is pretty suspicious. I don't think she's the kind of person who would die just from being burnt a little. It's still possible that Irie is the bad guy and that he killed Takano. That's what Okanogi tried to make me believe.
I kinda doubt that the coach is the mastermind. He's just not that kind of person.
I do agree. He's very nice as long as you don't let him talk about maids.
True and real.
As the manager of the Hinamizawa Fighters, I also think the coach is innocent in this.
Huh.
He's more like someone who could be easily used. Maybe he's too good of a guy.
Oh, seems like everyone suspects Takano-san.
Well, we're just saying, if we compare the coach and Takano-san, you know...
Who's more likely to start a serial genocide? Is it the guy who's just kind of a little bit of a pervert but is otherwise kind of a stand-up dude and also a very competent doctor? Or the girl who's constantly talking about murder and torture and trying to sneak into, like, ritual religious sites in the middle of the night with her shitty boyfriend?
Yeah, you know, you make a good argument. Oh, Satoko.
Takano-san would be pretty upset to hear that.
Everyone laughed as though we were in the middle of a club activity. If they're after my life, they'll kill everyone here. It's very possible that they'll all get involved in this mess, and they know that. That they could still laugh is really significant, I think. I started laughing along too.
It's odd that Takano's body was found in Gifu. If someone wanted to make it look like she killed Tomitake, they would hide her body somewhere nobody would ever find. Burning her body in the middle of the woods is like begging people to come across it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why did Ow Wow Wow not work?
Weird. Do we have notice off?
No! I'm gonna fix it.
Hanyu's fucking dead!
Oh no, we need to call her.
Hanyu, are you there? Hark! Let me hear you ow wow wow!
Where's your Ow Wow Wow? Why is Ow Wow Wow no? I think I accidentally deleted the video. I'm so sorry. I was like, wait a minute.
You killed her! You fucking killed her!
I accidentally deleted the video.
You took her out back in the woodshed like old fucking Yeller.
Yeah.
You said, I don't like this selfish bitch.
The Bluetooth device has been removed. Oh.
No, it's like, doo-doo-doo. There you go.
Doo-doo-doo. Yep. Did you already read the?
Nope.
Okay.
It's like they're trying to force an unidentified body to be Takano-san just because it was found outside the prefecture and the police can't investigate further. That's the specialty of the mountain dogs, right?
I think it's pretty obvious at this point. The mountain dogs are working for Takano-san, right? And the leader of the dogs is saying that the manager is pulling the strings. I bet Takano-san and them are working together.
Tomitake-san died the way he did so Coach would be suspected. But Tokyo is the only organization who would suspect the Coach. They also— why did I say it like that? The Coach. They also found the body of the true mastermind, Takano-san. Tokyo will suspect that the manager killed both of them. I see. This is a well-planned setup. Though it's not perfect.
It sounds like the mountain dogs are setting the coach up.
Well, I think we should talk to Coach directly. That's the best way to go about it. But what if he's the murderer?
That's a good idea. I can tell if he's telling the truth or not just by looking into his eyes.
Scary. Oh,
I'm
it's
an
like
empath.
it's like fucking Tuco from Breaking Bad. I think this is a thing in Better Call Saul actually, but there's like he's like, I have like this look, and he just looks at you for a long time to see if you're like hiding anything, and it's so intimidating. I'm just imagining Rena doing that.
Yeah, you're good at that, Renaissance.
Like Tuco.
The mountain dogs are also running security on Irie right now. He might not be able to get on the phone.
What? That sounds even more suspicious. I hope the coach isn't in danger right now.
Me too. If I was a member of the mountain dogs, I was going to set him up. I'd kill him before he said something I didn't want him to say. Okay, I read that wrong, but we'll move
A
on.
dead person can't say anything. Huh.
And a corpse can't laugh.
What?
That's
Mia,
for
what the fuck was that?
I'm quoting Eddie from Silent Hill 2.
Oh, I haven't played that game because I don't think it's out yet.
Well, whatever.
Oishi will return as soon as he takes care of business in Gifu. I don't know what time that will be, but he'll be here for sure.
As one, everyone glanced at the clock. It was already past 6:30. See, I was right! Almost. It's starting to get dark. No wonder I'm so hungry. We'd usually call it here if this was a normal day, but everyone decided to stay until Oishi came back and discuss what to do.
Can I use your phone, Mika-chan? I need to call my dad and let him know I'm gonna be home late tonight.
I need to call my mom, too. I have to call Granny and tell her to order something for dinner tonight.
You'll be in big trouble later.
We have to get something to eat for those officers, too. We can order
Freedom.
some sushi.
Everyone had a sensitive reaction to the word sushi. Their stomachs were empty, after all. Man, I'd love some sushi. The same should be true for those officers, too.
Are we going to order something too, Rika? I don't feel like we have that kind of money. Ain't that the
Satoko,
truth?
why don't you cook a stir fry for everyone?
What? I can't. I've never cooked for this many people.
Satoko stir fry? I'd love to try it, as long as there's no fingers inside. Why?
Satoko, I want to eat your food too. I want to.
At that point, the phone rang.
Hello, this is Furude speaking.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you're still alive. It's Oishi. I finished up everything in Gifu and I'm heading toward Okonomiya right now. I'm calling from the gas station.
What about Takano's body?
We did it! We were right! Gifu made one incredibly easy mistake on the paperwork. What a stubborn bunch. I really had to let them have it, let me tell you. Takano and her vehicle are still missing. She may have some information regarding Tomatake's murder, so I've just issued a search warrant for her. I'm getting close to revealing the secret of the curse of Yashiro-sama. I'm going to solve this case!
Oishi sounded so motivated. He'd finally found the hint he'd so desperately wanted. Could he actually solve the case, though?
I'm looking forward to hearing your story.
I'm heading to your house with Kuma-chan, so please tell us whatever you know. You can talk to me about anything you can think of.
Yes, I'm ready to tell you about everything.
Oh my. I look forward to hearing it. I should be there in about an hour. It sounds crowded over there. Are your friends there with you?
Yes, everyone came here to offer their help.
I see. You've got some wonderful friends. It's probably better for you to stay with them. Good way to keep the criminals at bay. Right, we're heading out. I'll see you soon.
Was that Oishi-san?
Yes, he's heading this way with that other detective.
Oh, this is the first time this room will have so many people inside it. How many people will it be? There's 6 of us here, so 8 people? Ugh, I do hope our floor won't break. Oh, I'm the 9th person.
Anu, were you listening to us? This is turning out to be Very interesting.
Do you think it's different this time?
Yes, I'm sure. This time is different.
Don't say that you're sure. It would devastate you if nothing ended up changing.
So, Hanyu, you still think that I'm dying today?
I don't want you to die.
You're not answering the fucking question. I know what you're thinking. You don't want to believe because you don't want to be hurt. That way you'll never be let down. I'm not going to listen to your opinions anymore.
That's my girl.
You just stay there and watch like the bystander you are.
Yes, I'm just a bystander. But I'm still rooting for you.
Rooting for me? Thanks. But are you sure you want to root for me? Are you sure you won't be hurt if I lose?
Oh, don't be mean, Rika.
We had a rather harmonious mood going.
9 persons, 9 doors, 9 plates of stir-fry. However, a feeling of unease was beginning to settle over us. Oh, I think that's a good place to stop if we have a significant amount left. You think?
Yeah, I think so. I need water and I need to rest. I don't know what the fuck is happening to me today, but I feel like I've been hit by a truck.
No! I'm so sorry. You said you weren't feeling good.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a good place to end, and we can finish the rest of this next week!
The playlist has 2.5 hours remaining. Okay, we can definitely do that. Probably in like 3, 4, 3.5. I don't know why I said 4. Never 4 hours.
We could do that. We could do that, especially if we lock the fuck in and
Yeah,
like
for sure.
keep the tangents to a minimum. I think
Yeah.
we could do that. Asking a lot of me with my ADHD, but we also kept a lot of the tangents to a minimum this stream as well. But I think that was good. That was a good stream. Good place to stop. Good time. I'm going over here.
I had fun with my friend Spoonie.
I had fun with my friend Cal. Tomorrow,
Yay.
I don't know if stream will actually happen. It really depends on the weather, because if the weather is going to be fuck tomorrow night, I don't think it's a good idea to stream during a tornado watch and or warning. So we'll have to see. So I put a question mark.
Please stay safe.
Yeah, I will. I won't stream if things are bad. So we'll have to see. Mama Sleeping Angels is the possible thing that I will be streaming tomorrow with the Scaredy Cats, which is, as far as I understand, a lethal-like, but if it were really fucking weird. And I like that concept, so we're gonna check that out. Thank you, Proxy, for gifting the game to me. I'm going to see who is live. Who shall we raid, if anybody, tonight? Oh, everybody's playing Tomodachi Life. Oh no, the brain worms. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I want it bad. Oh my god, everyone is playing it. Fuck! No! Bunny Blackjack. I haven't raided you in a while. How long have you been going? 34 minutes, and he's playing Tomodachi Life. So, I think I'm gonna raid my friend Gambit. Gambit is a cool bunny.
Gambit's an awesome name.
Gambit.
Yeah. His username is Bunny Blackjack. Oh, let me see. Bunny Jack. I feel like I always raid bunnies from the Higurashi streams. And, like, he will actually know what Higurashi is, because I've raided him while he was playing Umineko once. So,
Ooh.
so he actually knows. He knows what it is. And so, I think we need some levity. I think we need some fun. Some happiness. So we're gonna check out Tomodachi Life, and it's gonna give me brain worms. It's gonna make me drop $60 on a game I do not need. Alright. Remember, everybody. Tour of the Horrors never ends. That's the raid message. Okay.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.